All specifically sponsored by Doritos.
Yeah.
This infighting brought to you by the delicious taste of nacho cheese Doritos.
It's not at all sponsored by Doritos. Please don't take us down.
Nacho cheese Doritos. When PvP's on the menu, so are Doritos.
I always forget that we were.
Oh my god.
We need a new tagline writer.
I didn't take
All right, so Gin Cat.
Not that it died, that's the point.
Gin Cat.
Yeah.
I awarded you inspiration for starting the Facebook post to discuss how the future of this potentially cursed object may impact other people's experiences. So make note that you have one DM inspiration. You can only have one. If I ever award you inspiration, you already have it. You don't get two. You have one, you have to use it, and then you can maybe get another one. So, would anyone other than Gin Cat, since he already has inspiration, like to recap the last session?
I wrote a recap on Facebook if you just want to read that.
Oh, did you?
Well, I wrote that campfire song that sort of a recap.
Oh, yeah, not
You're
really.
like, no, I need a good
Did I
one.
really not get hit?
Yeah, you really did not get hit.
Mirror image, I assume is why I didn't get hit.
Uh-huh.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You got hit once or twice because not by him, not by him, but you did take one or two hits because you had to make some concentration checks.
Because I show I ended with all my HP, but whatever.
Yeah, whatever.
I don't think it's gonna. Well, why don't I just knock 9 off just to be?
Oh, I'm not damn dirty.
Okay.
Whatever. There you go.
That's not you.
Okay.
So we were continuing on our adventure from when we knew that there was some sort of portal to some fiendish realm inside this cave. We encountered several drow fighting spiders, and when the session began, a phase spider had just shown up. I believe that's right.
Yeah.
Right around the actual portal. So this drow sorceress was going ahead and was doing the ha-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-ba to try and seal the portal. Meanwhile, we were basically defending her, trying to kill off the waves of spiders, the phase spider, and make sure that whole thing went through, that she closed the portal. Verdros was, in case you all didn't know, trying to learn exactly what she was doing as she was doing it.
Which is good because
right as she was getting close, a bony tail with a piercer shot out of the portal right into her and killed her. A stinger, a piercer, whatever. I'll pierce your faces with my love.
Pork chop.
The more we say pork chop.
Let's not abuse it.
Yeah. Let's have a fake safe word. Okay. So, and a bone devil stepped out. He said some things that we don't need to worry about.
And I quote, he said, Verdros, is it now? How is tall?
Yeah, Verdros then saved all of your lives by continuing the ritual, closing the portal, while at the last minute, Johanna shoved the Bone Devil back in. Meanwhile, this motherfucker gets bitten by a spider, which may or may not have anything to do with what he then did, which was attempt to murder several of us, including Johanna and me and One Shoe. Mm-hmm. And who did you guys get hit by this murderous son of a bitch?
No,
this out of control half orc. Time bomb. Anyway, so I sent what's his face into the portal. He came back. Portal closes. It sort of creates this whirlwind, and we basically escape while pulling. I believe we pulled his unconscious corpse out.
No,
we heal him back up.
Healed him up to one hit point,
and we are all like catching our breath outside of this cave, and I think we're just gonna move on to Gray's Keep.
Okay. You can have your inspiration.
Thank you.
I also killed some spiders.
Yeah,
that's noteworthy.
Gee, thanks. the Ice Age killed some dinosaurs for us. We're not.
I'm actually
well,
pissed about
that
that.
example.
Just to recap, my notes as they relate to Jin'Kat's Berserker Rage. Jin'Kat was bitten by the face spider and immediately afterwards went into this rage. The only other person who was bit by the face spider was the Drow sorceress, who, in game mechanics terms, made her save against the poison. So you all would, especially Verdros, who was right next to her, would notice that she probably winced and kind of shrugged off whatever poison it was. Jin'Kat attacked one of the Drow warriors in his rage after the face spider disappeared, but otherwise he mostly attacked spiders, including compelling one of the giant spiders into a duel to stop it from pulling Rogar all the way to the ceiling. Jin'Kat eventually attacked Johanna when she was the only one standing next to him, but he missed. Verdros did not see that happen.
Say that one again.
Jin'Kat eventually attacked Johanna when she was the only one next to him, but he missed. Verdros did not see that happen.
Wait, what?
It's at about the 3-hour mark. You can go back and check, but I had you roll a perception check.
But based on our conversation that you and I have had... Okay.
Let me finish. Jin'Kat then attacked Verdros, destroying one of his duplicates, but not causing any real damage. Johanna attempted to knock out Jin'Kat, but failed. Verdros shocking grasped Jin'Kat, almost knocking him out, but his half-orcish resilience kept him conscious at 1 hit point. Jin'Kat attacked Johanna again, but again missed, which Verdros did see. Jin'Kat destroyed Verdros' last duplicate immediately after the ritual was completed. Jin'Kat critted on one shoe as they were retreating and knocked...
What?
He critted on you.
I did a good job of killing you.
Yeah, you did.
And knocked her unconscious. And Johanna finally knocked Jin'Kat out, breaking him out of his Berserker Rage. And Rogar brought him up to 1 hit point so that he could move on his own. And at that point, he was fine.
Yeah.
And you all escaped. Notes on the Bone Devil. So the Bone Devil appeared by impaling the sorceress and basically tossing her aside. Sure. Thanks. There was only one rune remaining when he emerged from the rift. He appeared to recognize Verdros, saying, "It's Verdros now, is it? How's dear Tal doing?" Verdros freaked out, cursing in the Elvish equivalent of a Cockney accent, finished the ritual, and as he finished the ritual, Johanna shoved the Bone Devil into the rift just before it closed, beating him by the narrowest margin possible on those checks, by the way, which was incredible.
MVP.
I love when the dice work with the story. One of the Drow Elite Warriors was also pulled into the collapsing rift. The other one was able to pick up the sorceress and pull her away until Rogar was able to revive her and they could both escape. So, all of you and the Drow Sorceress and the remaining Drow Elite Warrior have just escaped the mine as it collapsed. You are catching your breath. There's dust in the air all over the place. What would you like to do? What's
inspiration to the DM? Will.
Thank you.
I hold up
I will
my
give
arm.
myself advantage at some point.
I hold up my arm to get Saul, who I assume, blasted.
Oh yeah, he was ahead of all of you.
Yeah, to come back down, and he lands, and then, perches up on my staff on my back.
Is Johanna? Johanna, you took some damage, right?
I took a little bit. Overall, she looks like she's doing pretty.
Who's in the worst
Doing
shape?
pretty good.
You're at
Other
1
than
hit
me.
point.
You are?
I'm probably collapsing as we come out of this cave. I've been knocked unconscious twice in the last.
So
Minute and a half.
Jin'Kat will turn to one shoe, you're hurt. Let me heal you.
No,
What?
back up.
I make my way sort of
Why?
between, I don't
You
know,
did this to me.
between the two of them.
Excuse me, what?
I make my way
Yeah.
towards the I make my way towards the drow.
Did you guys hear
Okay.
He said what? Like he has no idea what just happened to him.
I'm right at One Shoe's side.
I just tried to heal one. I just tried to heal One Shoe. She's like, get away from me.
Get away.
Okay.
Why?
We'll go around this way. So you're staying by One Shoe's side.
Go first.
So
I'm going to stay by her side, and with interaction, I'm probably going to say you need to get away. Like, I'm going to reinforce that since she's so weak.
okay. We'll come back to that in just a second.
Okay.
Rogar walks over. You walk over to the drow. They're basically the priestess is sitting on essentially a rock. She's breathing very heavily, but she's catching her breath. The elite warrior is kneeling beside her, tending to some of her wounds, and she's grimacing with some of the pain, but not wanting to show. Not wanting to show how hurt she is in front of strangers and not in front of the male. And you're picking that up because you have crazy high passives.
The male. Like
The male drow, yeah.
Not the emperor.
get out.
So she's just trying to catch her breath. She as you approach, she looks up and she pauses for a second, and then she gives a tired nod of thanks, recognizing all the healing that you did for her. But other than that, they just look exhausted and they're just trying to recover.
Okay. Mostly I'm just going to be like, are you okay? Everything okay with you?
We'll be fine. Thanks.
Do you know where that portal was going?
I would assume to one of the layers of the hells based on what stepped out of it.
Any, how did you find this portal again?
Making the DM look at his notes.
Sorry.
No, I'm rolling to see if she trusts you enough to tell you anything at this point. She says, we have ways of detecting fiendish energy when it makes an incursion into this plane.
Beardros perks up.
But I'm not at liberty to tell you much more than that.
Who could tell us more than that?
She just laughs.
So, the spiders, what was their role in this? Do you know?
Normally spiders are our allies, but something was off about these. I'm sure it has to do with the devils. But I can perform magic. I don't study it.
So where are you off to now?
We will return to Dardiathar and give our report that the situation has been handled.
What do I know about Dardiathar?
Dardiathar is
that's the southwest.
That's the southwestern half of the Spinelands, the mountains that form the spine.
That's where that comes from.
It's where basically after the Drow and Duragar came up from the Underdark and took over those mountains, once their alliance broke down, there you go. Once the alliance broke down, basically it split into Dardiathar, which is where the Drow have set up their home, and Uvol, which is where the Duragar are stationed. There's still skirmishes that go on between the two in the Maw, mostly. And those two, establishing those two territories for either of them took a lot of bloodshed between the two. Mostly they stay to themselves these days, probably licking their wounds from all of the war between them.
Okay. Leviathan, that seems a little bit further away than just, in your backyard.
Well, where you guys are is in Haldrum. You're like you're maybe a few days from Dardiathar.
Yeah, I was just trying to see if they had like a shorter, kind of like not like an underground railroad, but like there's a way that they know of for safe passage. That's why I asked the question, rather than actual distance.
We're rather adept at staying undetected when we don't want to be.
Okay.
We'll wait for nightfall, and we'll move then.
How far away is nightfall?
It's early afternoon.
Okay.
Yeah, because you guys set out in the morning. You stayed the night in Tranche, and in the morning you got your horses. You headed out. You went straight to the mine. It took about half a day to get there, and then with everything that went on in the mine, now that you come out, it's a little bit afternoon.
Okay.
And you'll notice now that the seats that they've taken are specifically in the shadow of a really big tree. Like they are staying out of the sunlight.
Okay. Essentially, I would.
Basically, you get the idea that they're not going to try anything
Oh.
against you guys. And as far as you can tell, she's been more forthright with you than Drow typically are.
Oh.
Probably because you guys saved their asses,
Yeah,
essentially.
I want to ask something along the lines of we're gonna chill here also. We have some business to attend to, so if you hear any loud screaming or anything, don't pay too much attention to it. It's
Your affairs are your own. They're no.
Thank you.
They don't matter to us.
If you need anything, let me know.
Thanks.
Yeah.
And with that, they go back to he's working on stitching up a gash in her leg, and they're basically just going to find a place to rest that's going to stay in shadow as the sun finishes setting. So they move off a little bit, but they kind of make camp in a group of trees nearby, leaving your group with privacy.
Okay. Sorry. Check one more time.
Oh, would I have this?
I think this was your
These?
wolf hit points.
So I'm back to that.
Yeah, so you're back to that.
Yeah.
Okay, so
then I start going back to
the
whatever.
group. Okay, so the three of you, you tried to heal her, and you're both just like,
Nope. Step back.
So,
Stop, Alicia.
so you stepped forward and said you need to get away from her.
Zalissa, what are you talking about? She's clearly hurt.
You almost just killed her.
No, it wasn't me. It was the spiders.
Can you let me know when I get back into range of this conversation?
I mean, you didn't. You can hear it. You're not far off. But I'll say, give them a few rounds going back and forth,
Okay.
so that your conversation can finish with the drow.
You almost just killed her.
No, I was fighting the spiders.
No, you almost just killed her.
No,
You
the spiders
literally
did this
ran
to
up
her.
behind me and attacked me.
Why would I do that?
As
that's
we
a
were
great
fleeing
question.
The cave
I was just trying to survive like everybody else.
by pulling me down and leaving me to the rift.
What?
You seriously
did
don't
that?
remember that?
I don't know what you're talking about. You're clearly delirious. You need a rest.
Yes, I'm delirious.
Roll me an insight check, both of you.
Ooh, rolls. Here we go.
I don't know which one.
And actually, you guys are probably paying attention to this too, so you can roll me insight checks
This is a
too.
practice one. This one doesn't count.
I rolled my die, and this one came out on top, and it failed me already.
Perception.
Insight.
I rolled it.
Oh,
Insight.
insight.
Oh, this is a bad thing for me to fail.
8. Yep. 9.
18.
After this, I would actually interject.
Okay.
Just
8, which makes sense because I'm basically unconscious.
Okay.
You're
You-
dirty.
You feel like he is being 100% truthful. He doesn't know what happened. The rest of you're just like, what the fuck?
At this point, I'm like reaching out again to try to do lay on hands.
Stop!
I will pull out an arrow and like hold it against you and be like, no.
Chin cat, just back up a second.
If I can even
So-
Just back up.
muster up.
so at this
effort to do
point,
that.
I'm walking in between him, and I take his hand and put it on my chest, and I say, "Brother, do you really honestly not remember anything that's happened?"
And I say in Draconic, by the name of Bahamut, I swear.
I would. We
I don't
understand
speak
Bahamut.
Draconic.
Do I understand?
All I hear is
Bahamut?
bullshit.
You would understand the word Bahamut.
Okay.
And and essentially, I would say to all, he does not remember what has happened.
I agree, but I still think that you need to back up.
I would.
Because I don't know what's going on.
Can I do
my
it?
bow and arrow
If he
at the
remembers
word
anything
Can
or
I do a
not.
perception check on one shoe to see if I recognize an axe wound?
Probably menacing.
You don't need to do a perception check. Like, she clearly has a gash. Like, you critted her
very-
unconscious.
Oh.
Can I also...
You got her right here, right across the chest. You just barely missed where her heart was. So there is a bloody gash.
And then I'll also look at my axe to be like, is there, non-spider blood on there?
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm starting to think there's something I don't know.
So,
Oh, I don't know. I forgot it now.
sorry.
It's okay. But also,
So-
can I have another piece of cheese? It's really good cheddar.
We're not. Are we? Our picture's not live, so we can just get cheese.
Thanks. Okay.
This stream brought to you by cheese. When you need something out of cow that's not liquid. Cheese.
It's not like it comes out of
It comes out solid?
Have you ever
Wait, what are that cheeses?
I'm revoking
That's
your
the joke.
inspiration.
And take 5 hit points.
No, we all take.
You guys all laugh, and then you realize it doesn't make
So-
sense, and then you feel bad about laughing.
So at this point, are you I would still like to be like holding your hand to my chest.
We're having
And
an
at this
intimate
point,
moment.
you like see me just like kind of like sway and grimace a little bit, and it's like, what is the last thing that you remember?
The spiders descended, one charged at me, and after that, it's all kind of a blur. I thought
You remember
my heart
getting
was-
bitten.
Yeah.
And you remember
one
the
charged at
poison.
Me, I got bit, and I tried to fight that one off, and then tried to fight as many enemies as possible to protect my friends. And
Did you hit your head?
I'm sure I got hit in many places. We were just in a battle.
So, what happened was you.
What had happened was...
what had happened? What happened was you then.
Don't beat around.
You then,
You already done
after this bite or charge, then went into some frenzy and started just trying to absolutely destroy anything within a certain area of you. No one could go near you.
No, I only fight I only fight
Brother,
injustice.
I threw
What
my
did I
lightning
do
javelin
unjustly?
over you, and you did not move. You did not heal yourself.
And you see,
surely you do not think that I would leave you in this state on purpose.
And
You know that you are better than this.
It's the work of the devil.
We have to find out what has happened.
Jim Cat's just having this just he's having a complex right now. Just you can see in his eyes just torn apart. Just no. He doesn't like that he's being accused of whether or not it's true. He doesn't like that he's being accused of majorly screwing up.
Can I actually? I don't know if I can do this. Can I
I'm
use
down
my
to 1
detect
HP.
poison to see if the spider has poisoned
I'm probably
it?
the only one who looks worse than you.
Would that work in this situation?
You, being a druid and having, experience with nature and with spiders in generally, if he was poisoned and it was poison that was affecting his mind, like you're suspecting, the fact that he's not behaving that way now would lead you to believe that the poison has run its course, and you wouldn't detect anything at this point.
That was the same thing here, right? We talked about that.
Yes, you would also think that with your training as a healer and also being a green dragonborn, you're very familiar with poisons and how poisons work.
I'm gonna take a drink of lesser healing potion.
Okay.
Because we haven't done anything about the fact that I'm almost dead. What is that?
I swear to goodness.
It's just a regular healing potion, so
I'm gonna be like,
I will
surely
get back
this
to you.
is the work of some great evil, and I'm gonna use divine sense to try to there must be a devil nearby. I'm assuming I don't pick up on anything, but I'm gonna try.
Well, he says that if
yeah, you don't
Johanna
do anything.
notices Rogar
2d4
swaying and
plus 2.
grimacing, she'd want to go over and kind of help steady his shoulder a little bit. She's worried about why you're making weird faces and.
Oh, you go over to him? Aww. As you go over to him, I am remaining between you and him the entire time.
Oh, yeah. Johanna has had nothing but an icy glare for Jim Cat this whole time. So.
And, yeah, I mean,
Don't
Beardrose' hood is
his
still
hand
up,
is still on my
so you
chest.
can't, I mean,
So-
you can see his face, but...
So you're swaying weakly, right?
Yes.
All
I
right.
would
So
give you a
I'm
lesser
like-
healing potion.
Like one of my intentions of coming over you while you were about to bless someone else is, help me please. Also.
yeah, so I'm gonna be while I've had my moment of what the hell happened, but I'm gonna see my friend is hurt and be like, may I heal you?
Yeah. I replied draconic. Yes, that would be
So
appreciated.
I'm gonna use my lay on hands and I'm gonna apply 10 hit points back to you.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
And so there will be just this prayer to Bahamut, Bahamut, guide my hand, may my brother be healed in the name of justice. As
Are you saying that?
Justice.
yeah, I'd probably be saying all this in Draconic since I'm having a moment with Rogar.
Okay.
Okay.
So then I feel the warmth from my chest and start to straighten up. And I'm like, thank you, Johanna. Mm-hmm. And I'm just kind of steadying myself, looking around. That part I actually say in common.
Yep.
So everybody.
She takes her hand off your shoulder, but she stays nearby. She doesn't go back where she was standing.
So, although this
Oh.
is unfortunate, because I do believe that you do not remember anything, we have to figure out why that might have happened. We can all have many theories. But in other news, the Drow are going to make camp over there until nightfall.
That's what they told you, but as you look over there, they're gone.
You fool!
You're too
But we look closer and we see one of their feet hanging out from behind the bush.
No, they are gone.
So I go and I turn around.
Yelling under comment, fuck you!
As you were walking back, I rolled their stealth to see if they beat your passive, and they did.
What? Seriously?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
They've got pretty good stealth bonuses.
Yeah, that's fair. Okay. So.
So at this point, I would probably turn to Bear Joe and be like, Bear Joe, I'd say in Elven, I don't detect any evil nearby, but clearly this is the work of some sort of devil trying to turn my hand against
You
justice.
can blame it on whatever you want.
And
However, I am not comfortable.
you were aware enough of your surroundings that you saw the Bone Devil. You saw what happened with the rift and all that. Basically, in your mind, you were rationalizing that you were attacking spiders the whole time. Every time you went to swing, you were attacking a spider.
Was Junkat aware of that? I thought Junkat would be more of a just kind of seeing red. Like, in the moment, he's
you know what? Yeah, you're right.
But
That'd probably be more.
But when I try to remember it, it's just a blur.
Yeah, there would be flashes of things that you remember, and I would say, especially as a paladin, seeing a bone devil, like, that's definitely something you would have noticed, even in your rage, that there was a bone devil.
Jinx, has this ever happened to you before?
No, I've always been a warrior for justice. I would never turn on my friends like this.
You can rationalize it however you want, be it your own personal weakness or hostility that you've harbored for us from the beginning. Either way, you are no longer to be trusted.
I don't think he has any hostility intentionally towards any of us.
Did he feel not hostile as his axe sunk into your insert body part here?
Torso.
Into your chest?
I'm gonna whip out my wineskin and take a huge swig of it right now.
Was there no hostility as he cleaved through my mirrored duplicates?
I look at Jinkat, I look at Rogar, and then I look back at you. I do not think it was intentional.
Does intentionality matter as his axe went for Johanna's head? And as I say that,
He lifts his hand, and you've seen him cast Eldritch Blast before. You see the energy gathering in both palms, as well as streaming from his eyes, just billowing up like smoke from underneath his
back
hood.
and open.
Yeah, the hood flies back, like he is pissed.
So, she took... You had my javelin?
I did. That's right. I did
here.
before.
So, if you're standing right next to me, can
I'm
I...
sitting on the ground,
Oh, okay. Well then, never mind.
like on the ground, like against the cave.
Yeah, and you did. We did discuss this. You did grab the javelin of
Yeah.
lightning as you ran past
I
it.
did. So I would say back to you, it matters a great deal what his intentions were.
Can we say that as he... So how close are you to me at this point?
I'm like staring you.
Like, are
Probably
in my
about 10.
face?
Probably about 10 feet, considering you were near Rogar. She walked over to Rogar, and I am not letting you anywhere near her.
So as you're flame-awning,
He's flaming.
Hello.
I would instinctively
She okay back there?
have been raising my shield in more of a, like, I believe in justice, but I don't want an Eldritch Blast to the face, so I'm, here to block.
I'm very short and you're very tall, and I'm also on the ground. So whatever body part I can reach, I would actually your knee, perhaps.
A calf.
Want you, now is not the time for that.
His belt. I'm pulling it down. You're just
I would actually
I love this game.
I would.
And I would lower my shield. It was more of a reaction, like, oh, what's happening?
Yeah.
And I would try to remind you, hey, you're kind of on trial here. Like, maybe putting yourself, your defenses up. Not the greatest idea. But I'm trying to, like, let you know that me, this person who didn't want you to touch me, like, a few seconds ago, is like, okay.
Touch me.
I'll step in between the two of them.
Well, and Johanna's gonna kind of like straighten up a little bit, and she's like, whether your actions were intentional or not doesn't change the fact that I will be watching you constantly. You will be under my guard, and at no point will you ever have a watch by yourself until we can figure out what happened.
I like, with her saying that, like, the energy dissipates. I pull my hood back over. I don't believe he should even have any weapons on him. He can do what he will once we reach Gray's Keep. But until such time, he cannot be trusted with any of our safety.
I will face my trial, but I will not relinquish my weapon.
Ooh. Seems like it came from a movie.
Brother, let's remain calm in everything that has happened. We have a very different experience than you. And I understand that you will not give up your weapon. And as...
Oh, that scared me.
I scared both of you.
Mucho.
That was nothing. Mucho, come.
As another of faith, I would not ask that of you. But
He's gonna.
in our minds, you do tread on water. You've been treading for quite some time.
Sit.
So, just calm. Be okay. And then, to you, I would be like, I agree with Johanna in that you should not take a watch alone. But, if there is a watch to be had, I'll take it with him.
Are we so
He is
sure
one of-
that...
He believes in what I believe. He speaks what I speak.
And yes,
if the root of any of this was indeed poison, who better to deal with it or no?
and what happens when he attacks one of us again?
Well, you know that I will also be dead.
How do we know?
That doesn't help us.
Then leave. The only thing I can do is promise you that he will kill me before I do not warn all of you that he has gone into some sort of other rampage.
Jinket, you realize if this happens again, you're out of here. And
We're getting really dangerous from a meta perspective of basically being like, fuck your character because of reasons that you can't control as a character.
yeah.
Like,
But what if like
I totally agree
Yeah.
from a
Yeah.
character perspective.
Yeah.
How
But-
can we make sure this doesn't happen again?
Well, we
don't
don't
get me wrong.
know.
We
Coming out of character
You-
for a moment.
Yeah.
To discuss.
Hang on, I think I got it. If it happens again, I will hold both of you responsible. You will defend us, you will stop him, and you will fix it.
Jim Cat's
Is that agreeable from an out of character
Yeah,
perspective?
from out of, like I didn't from out of character. It was like I wanted to threaten you just enough that you would trust me because, frankly, I think as Rogar, I think you're a conniving, lying little fucker. And And like,
Wow, he really nailed you.
What have I ever done?
I just
So
saw.
we'll get to this in
Like,
character, I'm sure.
don't forget,
but-
I also saw the Bone Devil come out.
Yeah.
Like, there's a bit of it that I didn't see
yeah.
and understand because
At that point, Junekat's going to pipe up. Did you just say Bone Devil?
look, this is
This is a meta conversation.
Yeah.
But like, I am also untrusting of you because you and I have never really bonded either. So
Clearly.
so if there's anyone I'm gonna
No, I got you. No,
Yeah.
I think it makes perfect sense for. I'm with you.
Yeah.
I'm just making sure that we can both stick to character and make sure that we're not accidentally kicking out a character, another player's character,
Right.
just
Okay,
because
but-
our characters feel a certain
Like
way.
looking at characters, like if you were in a situation, no matter who or what you are, if someone is attacking you, I would think that my first instinct is if this happens again, I have to protect myself.
Oh yeah.
Oh, for sure.
yeah.
Yeah.
But I have sided with everyone here to a certain and
Yeah.
not so much you two. But like if your concern is about Johanna, my concern is about Johanna.
This is in character, by the way.
But the other thing that you all have to keep in mind is you all have been traveling together for a little while now.
Yeah.
You've fought by each other's side.
Yeah.
There has been some... Like, you guys have been together at this point for a couple weeks or so, traveling on the road and fighting off random
Probably
encounters.
a couple weeks more than was necessary. We should be in great shape by now.
Let's talk about that.
And
Not from you.
so it's not like your characters just met yesterday in the bar. So there would be some level of, whoa, what's going on with Jinkat here? Like there'd be some level of concern for the people outside of who you knew before coming together, because you have started to grow those bonds. At least that's what I would think if I were playing one of the characters.
Yeah.
But
Back in character.
back in character.
Before, listen, much appreciated, but before we go to kicking anybody out of our party, maybe we should look into why and how this happened. Because as I said before, stares down Verdros. I do not think it was intentional. Some other forces were at work here, whether it was the bony thing, which we'll get to,
Bony thing you say.
or the spider.
What I do in my free time is my business. Oh, the devil.
Or the venom,
Jim
or
Cat-
some other spell by the drow that are no longer here.
Roll me a nature
good
check.
one.
Nature check. Nature.
Jinkat's gonna pipe
Or
in.
survival, your choice.
You.
Was there a devil down there?
Didn't
Ooh,
you
survival,
see it?
much better. Still not that much better. 11.
That's
You're in
enough.
Dice jail.
That's enough. You know that
You just rolled
tomorrow night is the full moon. So
Shit, we
You-
still haven't gotten to Halloween, have we?
it is All Hallows Eve today.
Damn it.
Oh my god, it's been almost a full year.
Oh my god.
Jesus Christ.
To be fair,
Hey,
To be
you might
fair-
get to Grace Keep by the time Chandler and I have kids.
Kelroy Manor took like 4 sessions.
We're the
Don't rush
productive
me.
group.
Hey, it's okay. We're having
I'm
fun.
saying Grace Keep's gonna take another couple years.
Yeah, Jinkat just caught with that because he had a lot of seeing red. There might have been a devil. He wasn't really certain of anything there. But you guys just talking about a devil being down there. He's like, wait, there was a devil down there. What? We need to go kill that thing right now.
It's gone.
The devil is away for now.
Did its exit coincide with my stopping of the killing of friends?
No.
In a manner, but your beginning was not in line with that.
And he didn't
Devil's
stop
working.
when
He
the
didn't
devil
stop.
disappeared.
Once the devil was gone and the portal was closed.
It was a couple rounds after,
Yep.
as you all were escaping. It wasn't until he was knocked out.
Yep.
Because she killed.
We were
speaks the true truth.
escaping the cave, and he came up behind me as we were.
You ran past him, and basically, as you ran past him, he caught up and attacked. Yeah,
And
because you were trying to
came
escape.
after us.
Like a bitch.
Yeah, I was just my brain went at the portal closed then.
Attack.
Yeah, the portal closed, and then everyone was leaving, and he struck one shoe, and then Johanna knocked him out, and then
Okay, cool. Yeah.
so
So Jim Cat's gonna chime in and say, I've said my piece. I did not mean any harm against any of you. I believe it's traditional in the ways of justice that I am allowed to speak my mind and then the jury speaks without me present. If you'll allow it, I'd like to remove myself from this scene right here, and I need to go be atoning myself with Bahamut.
Stay within sight.
I will be over there. Within sight.
Do I think he's
The
gonna
thing
run
that
away?
I did is going to
okay, yeah,
close enough for me to.
yeah.
Yeah.
Do I think he's gonna run away if we let him get so far away?
I don't know. Roll an insight check.
Look, I'm the DM. I don't know anything.
Are you planning on running away? If you are planning on running away, roll deception. Otherwise, roll persuasion, and we'll just.
I got a 15.
Don't tell me which one it is. Just tell me what you ended up rolling.
I got a 14.
Okay, so she reads. Are you planning on running away here, or are you just wanting to do what you're saying?
I just want to go atone with Bahamut.
Yeah, you believe him. You believe that that's what he's trying to do.
So I'm going to, and as I stand up to or get ready to walk away, you don't look well. Please allow me to at least get you strong enough that you can stand strongly on your feet. Offering to heal.
This is such a cute moment. I'll allow it.
I put my hand on your head.
And while she pull it on his belt.
I'll put my hand on my head and I'll pray and calm the time. Bahamut, please cast healing and help along to my friend Lumshu here. Then I'll come with her, and also another shoe wouldn't hurt if you don't mind. And I give five hit points to you, which is the last of my.
Are you one shoe? Because when you were a kid, you pulled on people, and they're probably goody two shoes, and you hated that name, so you got rid of them.
Would you like to know?
So I walk,
Yeah. Suck it.
Close your mouth! God damn it!
So I walk like 100 yards away, so
I know what
far
you're
enough
doing.
away that I'm not
Yeah,
in earshot, but close enough you guys can still see me, and we'll get back to what I'm doing and then let's discuss. So I'm not in the room right now.
So at this point,
That's up to you.
I would turn to you. There it goes.
Alright, stay.
But I don't know.
Opposed to.
As opposed to Frankie. And essentially, be like, so, did you know?
Oh, you guys aren't even going to talk about Jim Cat. He just walked away so you can decide if he can stay or not. You guys aren't even talking about it.
I heard what he said. Me, as a fellow believer of the good in people and faith and mercy, would definitely not question that.
Okay.
But don't you think that if we're all going to be on trial,
He doesn't
not
get
far
a
away.
if we're all
say.
going to be on trial here for Jin Cat,
You don't get to decide who has a say.
He's not far away. Like,
I'm like 100 yards away. within eyesight, so it's not unless you're shouting.
I mean, I'm not gonna like.
But I'm also pretty focused.
The topic of the devil was brought up. That's what I would have said. So.
Okay, I mean, you guys can dive right into it. That's fine.
If we're here, and I would say that if we're here to discuss Jin Cat's intention,
Hey!
Jin Cat should be here to discuss their dresses.
I'm sorry, did I attempt to murder any of you?
I don't know.
Or was that just the orc?
I don't know. The Bone Devil didn't seem very friendly, did he?
No. And in fact, I seem to recall I'm the one who finished the ritual to banish him back where he came from.
And you would seem to recall that I also was able to keep everyone alive enough so we could do so.
And I do
We all
appreciate
play a valuable part in this team.
We do,
And
however,
you know
I am
that.
the only one with accusations of friendliness to this
I am
creature being
not-
leveled against.
I am not accusing you of anything. Except
No,
wondering
you are not.
If you knew what this devil black cat was.
Johanna pipes up and she kind of like looks at Deirdre and she's like, "You didn't know your name."
It knew this name. I have not
Okay.
met.
What? This name? What other name?
Oh, that's one.
I've given 3 others in the time that we've all been together. To various people.
That's
Which is
true.
why-
He's given fake names before when you've interacted with other groups.
Other
And
names also really unique.
None of them are real.
So Fairgross is your name? Oh, okay.
We're gonna trust
It
each other here.
is Salah.
everyone roll an insight check.
God damn!
Alright,
Nice
purple
job.
guy. God damn it. I rolled a 5.
Oh, there's that.
I haven't guessed you, Doug. What's the trick?
15.
16, 15. Oh, Jinka's not there. You got 5? Okay. I'm going to say that
Apparently
it
Johanna
did not
just
work.
blindly believes.
But,
Wait, it didn't work that they don't believe him or that he's tricked them?
you believe. In fact, yeah.
Yeah,
The three-
would feel real hurt if you just lied to her.
The three of you believe that Solilas is a name that matters to him. You don't necessarily believe that it is his name.
Literally has the word lie.
Collabris version of bullshit.
I think it's still bullshit.
Sure.
Or dumb. I don't know.
I can provide that.
Yeah.
Fairgross, you obviously may choose to tell me your name or not. As you have given many others many other names, I understand. But, for the sake of us continuing, it would be in your best interest for us to know each other.
It would be in your best interest for you to
Not to know you.
not know the me that bone devil is.
Is this a you that no longer exists? Is this your group?
For all intents and
Version
purposes,
two?
that is correct. The
I
me.
know that it is. That's untrue.
Oh no, I was given the same, like, I'm just...
You
know, like,
in the moment with the Bone Devil?
With the Bone
Yes,
Devil.
yeah. You heard him cursing in some other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright, anyway, sorry. Version
But
2.
it is in your best interest to know me as the man that has traveled with you. I have not worked at any cross purposes to date.
True. And you
I have
fought
not done
down-
anything.
Neither has Jin
Until now.
Well, as far as I'm concerned, you guys are on the same standing.
I don't see
You pose a threat. If unknown. Maybe not as immediate as for someone that does not know, you do pose a threat, and you must understand this.
And if you were to understand the full nature of that devil enemy, would that alleviate your fear of what threat you believe I pose?
If that devil holds something over you, I will want to fuck it up.
Like seeing your t-shirt.
Well, I certainly would assist
It's weird.
you in fucking up that devil.
So what is
Tall was a friend.
Johanna probably doesn't even know this, does she?
Nope.
Alright,
She don't. But he was also a thief,
and
a
deliver.
swindler, and a fool. He ran a con. What?
I killed your father.
He ran a con against the gods of the Lodge.
And you two would be less familiar. Roll me a history check, the two of you. But
Bellardin. I'm sure Johanna knows about it.
oh yeah,
I got that one.
natural one, 9. Okay, neither of you recognize what Bellardin is, but the rest of you recognize Bellardin was one of the larger elven cities in Talonarfell, which was the elven nation that was broken by the Drow in the original incursion. And the only reason the Drow didn't continue to push further was because their alliance with the Duragar broke down and they had to withdraw. But the fall of Bellardin was one of the pivotal moments where Talonarfell started to really collapse. The two of you don't know that, but the rest of you know. You especially would know because as a soldier and as, commanding officer, you would be aware of the military maneuvers in the region, just from scouting reports and such, and gossip. Same with you. You would know about that history, especially having grown up right next door to Talonarville.
Tall ran a con against the gods. And Verdros would give a specific date. And those of you who know about the fall of Bellardin know that is the same date. He was distracting a contingent. Not on purpose. But it led to, or at least contributed to, the fall of Bellardin was armed. Tall and honest. Well, when Tall was faced with the consequences of his actions, he made a deal with a devil to save. He sold his soul to that devil and escaped the consequences from it. However, I was also held. I was held and seen as guilty merely by my association with him. And therefore I had to run, change my name, change everything about myself. From my people, and from any interaction with Tall and the devil. I want nothing to do with it. and every bit of the power you see me wield, I have gained, I have sought, learned, and used to ensure that I am never a part of that.
That contract still binding?
I don't know what you know about his verbal contract, but clearly it's not much. The devil fulfilled his terms, and my friend, if you call him that, did escape the consequences of his actions. He is therefore bound to that contract forever. There is no remedy short of killing that devil. So like I said, I would be happy to help you eradicating that fear. However, that is not an easy task, nor one that I would ever take lightly.
And you would know as a cleric, devils will change their shape, change what kind of entity they are based on what their ranking is. The stronger they are, the stronger their form. A bone devil is fairly high up the chain. Like, it's not top dog, but it's upper half.
My travels are in search of knowledge and power to ensure that our bone devils never harm them, as well as to defend myself. And the old. Not long now.
Didn't you think that we would be willing to help you with this?
Very good to be fine. But, what? Sorry, what was the question?
You've known us how long? You didn't think that we would be willing to help you in this?
Because you do this problem.
It can be.
Oh, why can you?
You're one of us.
I am staying out of the way. That is my goal, not have to deal with them at all. Greater good does not keep me with us.
Who suggested that we go and eradicate
Not me.
the Yeah, I
I
know.
think it was Jim Cat.
Told us.
The Oni
There
told
was
you
a
there
devil.
was a fiendish presence in the town that the Oni was not comfortable with because fiends in any form are a really bad thing. And even for a monster like an Oni, like the Oni,
I deal with that.
yeah, the Oni, like anyone else, recognizes that a fiend is going to kill indiscriminately. Even if it doesn't kill the Oni, it's going to kill his food supply. So, and I believe it was both you and Jin Cat that were insistent on
Sounds right.
looking into this.
So, in keeping with this newfound character, and from what it sounds like, this willingness to do something, which is still continue on this journey to eradicate the fiends of the area, while on our way to trace.
Isn't this the only fiendish thing you know about?
I mean, you know that there was a portal and you closed it. You don't know if there was anything that's on this side of the portal still. You don't know.
Well, we had a map. that
What's the
had-
range on Divine Sense? Just yeah. As far as you know, there's no fiends in the area.
No devil.
But didn't we have a map that the Oni gave us that was like
Yeah.
5 different points across various places within Halton?
Yeah, those were all places that he was looking at.
3 locations marked in red. One of them has been circled. That's the one he takes to.
Yeah, basically the one he circled was what he narrowed it down to.
Yeah.
That's what I'm referring to.
I prefer to continue.
points.
Well, we know. Well, no, I think what we're saying is this is the one point, and we cleared it out. The Oni went to the others. The Oni went to the others, and those
To
were,
investigate
And
them,
there
but
wasn't
for
anything
whatever
there.
reason, he didn't circle those
Yeah.
That was the
locations.
only one circled.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Never mind. Okay. Well, then,
We are all better off together in our travels than we are separate, barring one very large and murderous exception.
yes, but there,
The large parts are necessary.
One fat, stupid.
Stupid exception. Stupid.
as you may be well more acquainted with the effects, the contact of the infernal or other fiendish beings allow me to be some sort of an expert in a similar realm at poisons at the very least, regardless of what faith or companion they have, and say that it is within the realm of possibility that the spider's poison is delusional. Now,
Specifically the phase spider.
I
the
don't
phase
discount
spider's
that.
poison is maybe delusional.
I don't.
It may not be more.
I don't discount that as a possibility.
What do you know of the Bone Devil? Is this something that he could or would do?
Do I know?
Assuming he thinks
You probably wouldn't be super familiar with the capabilities of a bone devil.
I mean, certainly
You-
possession is a capability.
Yeah, you know that some devils have the ability to do things like dominating the minds of
Sure.
other beings and
And certainly, it is not.
yeah, I mean you know that some devils do. Again, you know roughly what the rankings are, but you don't know the specific capabilities of most
Yeah.
of the devils.
Yeah, I
See-
just want to know so if I needed to, I could
I don't
back him
see
up
the
with it.
need to litigate the case of Jim any further. As I've said, I am entrusting the responsibility for him.
I'm gonna try on the week to find out if he might do this again.
I propose taking his weapons, and he seems to not be
I think it's
agreeable.
important to figure out what caused it. We can't just say, oh, well, if it happens again, it happens again. You guys didn't almost die.
I don't disagree. Short of going in, finding the case by the fangs and shoving them into his arm again, I don't know if we can particularly test that theory. Assuming that that's a great
The entrance to the mine is completely collapsed. By the way,
As I say that, never mind.
Team intervention.
I mean you would know that. You literally just escaped as it collapsed behind you.
There are options. We killed him, which I don't believe anyone is strongly in favor. We take his weapons, find him, in one form or another, possession from him that will take any actions other than moving with him. We move on without him, or he comes with us. We trust that he truly did not intend to attack any of us. We hope that it doesn't happen again.
And as I said before, the first time that something happens, you have to protect yourself.
I will rather protect my so I will protect you. But
towards the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah, something like that. Don't worry, this is kind of in character. I have shitty charisma.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Rogar,
he
you
deserves the benefit of the doubt in many ways that if something would have happened like this to Johanna, I would also not immediately say it's something.
you've shown wisdom. I would even say your wisdom scores quite high. You've shown wisdom and understanding, at least with me, giving me the benefit of the doubt. I trust you. And Verjo's kind of withdrawn from the whole. And his eyes cloud over as his perception.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean we have to move.
Yeah.
Right now.
That's fine. Where is Saul? Is he up in the sky? Is he in a tree branch? Is he
Oh, I
in a
thought
tree?
you followed him.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah. Okay.
So if things kind of dissipate from here, I go back and look at the glass.
I thought we were going to go to the
One
one.
that I wanted
Not
to
go.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
This might have been better before we got had the you were talking. You were talking before about the fact out of character here. You're not really interested in defeating the devil, like that is your life now. You're thinking knowledge.
I'm not stupid enough. Vergos would say that he's not foolish enough to believe that he could just go kill that thing. We barely escaped with our lives. And it's only because of Johanna doing what she did and me paying enough attention to that ritual that we got out of that. In no way do I think we can just go. We're not going to make a jump. Not
don't
going to
think
find a
they're
boat
warm enough,
on
but
the
if you want
river
to mix
Styx.
them.
Take it, hire some Morenaloff
What's in
to
there?
take us
Meatballs.
down
What?
into a furnace and then perhaps even deeper into the other layers. And find that bone down and slay it.
Well, for me, I thought it was going to
It's
be
not
buffalo
going to
chicken
happen.
dip, and I was really excited. It's horrible.
I don't know about
2
you,
weeks.
but if there were a wrong done to me, as it certainly seems to be done to you,
This is not okay.
I would obviously, I wouldn't be able to let it go.
You up?
I said if there was a wrong done to me, and I think there's something I say, hey, guess what? There's been a wrong done to me. If there's a wrong done to me the way that it seems to have been done to you, I don't think I could just let it go.
You seem to be willing to let go of wrong done to you by Tall did what he did.
Big news.
The consequences that Tall is going to face for the deals he made will be reaped by him. I would much rather avoid those consequences than die What you got for me?
I hate this. I really don't want to say this. It seems like not all of your previously you were talking about like my deductive reasoning. Essentially, previously you were talking about how you were friends with someone who was a thief also. You went very highbrow to very lowbrow casting. We will probably then deduce that you are also of a lower level, and you, as far as I know, you could be friends with Saul. You could not. You could be just as thievery as you were before. You could not. So, you avoiding things, being sneaky or a thief. You're the
I
and
absolutely.
a little bit more immoral than I would have previously thought, given looking at Bearjos 2.0.
Surprised I do not claim to have magically become a moral and upright citizen. However, you can ask yourself if anything has ever gone missing from your past while in life. If you have ever seen me steal or lie, at least in a way that did not benefit us and possibly even your greater good. Lyra?
So you haven't lied, you haven't
Oh no, I didn't say that I haven't
stolen.
lied. But wait, what did I steal?
The spellbook wasn't stolen. You guys found it outside.
No,
That's what all stealing is. I found it.
No. You guys found it.
Belongs to someone
It
else.
fell off the truck.
No, after the two of you were looking at it and you took your rest, when you woke up the next morning, it was gone, but you found it outside and it was blank.
I want to remember how
Just for one of my dice.
Oh, okay.
I do want to thank you. I feel like you're so good.
Yeah.
I shall give you a thing. You want to know what I
No, this is the thing.
Are there some Coltons in there?
Should
I
be.
believe so.
yeah, but my
I certainly haven't left all of the skills that I my past life behind. But thus far I've only used them to our benefit. And I would say not to the detriment of any business.
and that is why we are.
Thank you. When some things do not need to be shared, would you prefer to have been questioning my motives this entire time and put us at risk of being followed, attacked, and what have you, by forces elven or fiendish?
By being honest, we were going to be followed by something fiendish?
Potentially, I can't say that I can trust all of you to keep my secrets.
Well, then you don't trust us at all.
I trust your love of the cup. Of the cup. Booth.
You're a drinker.
You're a drunk.
As you say this, she's got her Silna Winery tour hat.
Yeah, you know,
Yeah.
I would say once you that.
I'm actually a little offended by that.
I would say once you that trust is something earned and not always
It's afternoon.
something that
Early afternoon.
and yes, we have been on the road for
You got about 10 minutes left. of the
quite some time.
ritual.
I would also say that we all don't know all of each other's secrets.
And there is safety sometimes.
Sometimes. But there is also safety in letting us help if another one of us is in danger. And we all tread this consciously. That's understood.
And what would it be?
We would have. Yeah. it would have.
Verdros pulls some strange contraption this long. It is black with a little switch and a silver mesh metal globe, and he drops it and walks away.
What the hell was that? That's a magic trick.
What's funny is he drops it, but it hangs there in the air. It's actually an immovable rod, and he accidentally hit the button.
I've had this whole time. Me too, Mars. I think you're good now.
Oh, she's always been good. How dare you?
Yeah, what
I
are you
didn't say she
saying?
hasn't always been good. I did say she's awesome now. Good.
Oh, you
Like, I used to do drugs. I still do, but I used to too.
I would.
Hey, babe.
I would like to see.
I would give them another 10 minutes. Some of them are cold on the inside.
Kind of like Adam.
Hey, James. You might want to give it another 10 minutes. Some of them are cold on the inside still.
Oh, I just had a whole one.
I had 2 hold ones, and the second one was cold.
Because
She's been like
currently,
weird
like,
the longest.
you've been quiet the longest, and you could kick my ass.
Kick anyone's ass.
Yep.
So,
You guys literally just saw her
fight.
shove a bone devil into the portal.
Yeah.
I didn't.
Alright, she might kick my
You all understand what a bone devil is.
so
And then afterwards knocked that guy out.
Yeah. Johanna's a badass.
yeah. But I just, what is your reaction? Like non-verbal reaction. I'm not asking you. It's more of
I'll
like,
ask you.
I want to do an insight check of like, hey, Papa. What you got?
So I feel like Johanna generally tries to keep herself kind of guarded. She's not cold or closed off, but she doesn't react volatily to a lot of things. But hearing his whole cash spiel, and I'll just flat out tell you guys if your characters know this or not, that's up to you from inside or whatever. But she is very conflicted because she thought she knew who she was traveling with before we met up with the whole group. And granted, she started out as a mercenary, but something made her stay on after that, and she feels a little bit betrayed.
It's kind of like Brianna Park.
Yeah.
Kind of like what?
Brianna Park.
Yeah.
So,
Right?
So like she's very quiet and reserved, but like all the verbal bouncing back and forth, she has not missed a single part of dialogue whatsoever. Yeah.
So visibly, you look shaken, but you
Yes.
kind of regained your composure.
Yes, yeah, and she might even kind of like sigh quietly and just kind of step back from the group enough not to be like noticeably awkward. I'm moving away from you, but like I need just a little bit of space for a moment.
would we all agree that this would be a good place to rest for a little bit until the festival?
I would say, well, the festival's today. And you guys traveled half a day from the morning to get here. So by the time you get back, like, it'll already be night. The festival will be going on for a couple of hours after you got back. That's assuming that you leave, like, right now. I will say, you guys have been doing all this conversing and talking, I am going to let you consider that a short rest. Because you guys have been doing this for over an hour now. Except for you, because you're doing a ritual. On a short rest, you can use your hit dice to regain hit points. Some class features come back on a short rest. Some spellcasters get their spell slots back on a short rest.
So you see me like look invigorated, and then I say, "Now you're all in big trouble." No, I'm kidding.
Johanna just grabs it by the back of the scruff. I'll throw you in after that.
Now you're all
devil.
in big
Come on, my name is right.
Why did
This is for done. Is that?
Yeah, it's one for every
one of
level.
your hit die, and it's one hit die
You-
per hour.
So you can roll up to 4.
only get
But on a long rest, you get back up to half of your
I
maximum.
gotcha.
So you could roll it and get that closer.
Okay. And then I move it.
Oh, do you add your constitution
Yeah, so you
on?
can only use
Yes.
up to that number of hit die
Should use my inspiration.
per day. So you
Do I get my spell slot back?
You must finish a longer
Uh,
short
on
rest.
a
I get
short
my
rest,
second wing
no.
back.
You get both of your wild shirts back on a short rest. Though.
And accent shirts back.
As part of my
So what does
Double zeros. Is this a 10 or is this a 1?
Hold on. Multiple things.
10 or
which one did you?
so
That was a
when-
10.
I've already used my channel.
But I don't get extra.
Yeah.
You get 10 plus your con.
I know, but I don't need 10 to get back.
It's
No.
a long
I
rest.
don't get
It's a long rest.
No, part of my challenge video is like a max healing set.
Oh.
And I don't think I can do that because I've already essentially channeled divinity.
Yeah, if it's only a once per
It's
whatever.
once per long rest. And I
Yeah,
feel
yeah.
like
You
that's already used,
you
right?
used it for healing. I remember you using it.
Yeah, no, I definitely did as marked, but like when I go to look, it's still looks like it's available, but I don't think it's just the time.
You attack the same way, so.
You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
I meant every
I just
swing of it.
I'm not
You
gonna
burn and
use
die in
it
a pit.
Okay.
because it doesn't logically
Well,
make
you'll be
sense.
dying soon.
Okay.
They're coming for you.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're gonna die.
I don't know if you caught the Ohana thing. What really did. Hence the Eldritch fire all over.
So you're spying on me right now, right?
I am not spying on you.
Saul does see that he is
Alright, for anyone who
performing a ritual
For anyone
of
who
some sort.
might be looking at me, I'll kind of just
Some
describe.
kind of sure.
For the random
It's,
raven watching you from a tree.
Before you get to that, are we all set
Hey!
for rest now?
Big Cat!
Well, you guys have in the course of this conversation, I'm saying that was a short
Oh,
rest.
okay, gotcha. Okay, never mind.
The
That's good.
Chocom.
Can you close that gate?
Yeah.
Just keep him out
So
of the kitchen.
anyone who might be spying on me right now will see Jinkat
Who could have done this?
has like planted a shield in the ground and is he's currently like bent over praying to it, and the shield is the faded Bahamut symbol is actually quite it's quite strong on the shield right now, and
It's got a bit of a glow to it.
yeah, there's almost a glow to it, like it's as if there's magic being channeled through it. And anyone who's listening, you'd have to understand Draconic to understand the prayers that are being said. But you can probably tell, at least from just the general tone, that it's like it's an atonement prayer. It's trying to hey, I messed up, and I'm trying to get right with my God right now.
And what language are you doing it? Draconic?
Draconic.
Okay.
Yeah.
Pay attention.
You pay attention.
I am.
Exactly. Okay.
Okay,
No.
so
No! Stop it!
so that's what Saul sees.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna just stay watching in Saul's body. Stop it!
I
Okay.
throw a dagger at something.
Honka honka.
Loving yourself.
Sorry. Honka honka.
Okay. Is there
I've been
any?
doing that for about an hour now.
Yeah, and you are just completing that ritual
Yeah.
about now.
Okay, so I
About
will.
like as it does it. Is there an indication that you're wrapping it up?
The shield's glow will
Dissipate.
fade, and I will stand up.
You guys see as Verdros' eyes turn back to normal, and he stands up and just sort of like looks in Jintat's direction.
I turn my head and look
So Jinkat's gonna kind of look over and be like, "Are they still talking about me? Am I allowed to go back yet?"
Oh, bro, you've been good for like 10 minutes.
So I'll.
You get the sense that you can
They're
approach.
okay with everything.
You get the sense that you can approach the group again.
So I'll walk back over. You would have noticed also that my axe was like if I'm kneeling or if I'm like bowing, it was laying on the ground, but like at where my laying down chest level is. If that makes sense. It's right underneath me.
He's not praying to
He laid the axe down while he.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I pick up the axe, pick up the shield, and I walk
And
back.
press it for the whole group.
Yes.
So
Roll for initiative.
And, I believe I get a surprise round. No, I don't. Because they all don't.
No,
trust
because
me.
I stood up ready to kill you if this ritual was anything bad.
So
No, Jingat is not a doppelganger.
Like,
What? And I'll be like, what? Have you reached a decision?
you will stay here with us. You you on my word. And I give you my word to protect the community.
Thank you.
I must find out what the root cause was. Because if anything happens, these other people will agree. As much as I believe that you are, I do not hesitate with my God.
Pedro's in that and just
As long as Bahamut is my god, I shall not be fall to the devil's powers again.
I think that while this is going on, Rachel is kind of maybe not stepped to the side, but it's very clearly like she's in her bottle. Like she's not like trying to get drunk, but she's very clearly drinking too much. Like
Roll me a Constitution save. If you have advantage against poisons. Alright, you're good.
I know how to keep my liquor.
Just keeping it honest.
But like I'm like very contemplative sitting there if we're starting the fire like I am like
Well, it's still the afternoon.
okay.
It's the middle of the day. You guys have done a short rest. If you wanted to, you could make half a day's progress towards Gray's Keep. The mine wasn't too far out of the way, or if you're planning on going back to Tranche for the festivities, you can get back there and have a few hours of the festivities to finish.
I feel like we've been in Trump for a week. We need to go.
Well, essentially, how do you look right now? Okay, but not like... okay, but not like more than you need.
Correct.
Right. Okay.
I'm a little butthurt.
Good on
A
both right
little
now.
butthurt.
She's low on emotional hit points.
I'm at the point on one.
So, at this
Roll me
point,
an emotional death.
I turn to the group and essentially suggest... Well, one, I look around and see if the horses are still there.
Yeah, they were. Yeah,
horses.
they're still tied up where you left them. They don't seem any worse for the wear.
I don't remember where we left.
Yeah,
We
you
must have tethered them.
you tethered them to like some trees where you went in.
Bound and gagged.
Alright.
It's like the lights out.
Well, one of them is, but we don't kink shame here, so.
So, essentially I would turn to the group and then just kind of say, alright, so, we have an understanding. We will continue on. The question is where to. Now, I believe that there are still answers to be found in Gray's Keep. I also think that the Oni may still pose a danger to the keep. But I feel like we have rooted out what we probably need to do, right?
I mean, you
I
sealed the
don't-
rift.
Does
Sweet.
Tamara believe that if I will
You've-
have a
you've-
purpose for it?
You've sealed the rift,
Yeah.
so
So I feel like we've probably done what is in our best interest to do for people at this time. And to not bask in glory that no one needs to know about. We can just continue on to Gray's Keep.
roll me an intelligence check. Just
What's their intelligence, right?
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, okay.
Jin Fat would say if my words for me anything. I vote that
Ha!
my words to Gray's Keep. I need to find a temple to Bahamut as soon as possible to complete my appointment and to have my blade blessed in the name of justice that it may never
says,
I'm
Johanna says, I don't like the idea of an Oni running around towns of innocent people, a town full of innocent people, but that being said,
Didn't you tell everyone in the town that there was an Oni there?
You told the guards,
Oh, okay.
and the guards laughed at you because Onis are fairy tales.
yeah.
Well, then it's on the guards. Let's go.
Basically, the guards believe that you were just one of the many people that were trying to pull a prank for All Hallows Eve.
Yeah, that's all Jim was doing too.
It's all a prank, bro. Yeah, because you heard it as a kid. It was one of the many.
And I was surprised that it was real.
You didn't have enough time to process that surprise, but yes. Yeah, basically, it's one of those things like, oh shit, that's a real thing.
But anyway, she's gonna say, well, I don't like leaving unfinished business. I think we've wasted enough time getting sidetracked as it is. So I vote that we continue on Grace. And with that,
No one's allowed
They are evil.
That's my butt.
In my conversations with the Oni, or what the Oni told us or whatever, right at the Joey that we gave this work for him, I forget how we left things with him.
Well, you were in the middle of a conversation with him, and he was basically telling you that the entire mansion thing was a test to find worthy heroes. Essentially, his goal was to find a group that was strong enough to deal with the fiend. And if people died along the way, he doesn't care. He's known. But you get the feeling that had you continued that conversation, he was building towards offering his abilities as an ally in dealing with this. But you all attacked him, and so he kind of cold you, knocked out like half the group, and pieced the fuck out. I will also say, you know that the rumors about missing children started maybe a month or two before All Hallows Eve, and they hadn't been a thing before that, so the Oni probably doesn't stay in one place for too terribly long, or at least he was new to the town, and having run away from you all, he may or may not have even stayed in Tranche after that. Basically, you don't have a lead to go on with the Oni.
Yeah, that's right.
sorry, on my purse and my jacket.
Okay, so... Oh, Missy's outside. Alright, so you guys... Okay, so you guys are gonna head to Gray's Keep. Just leave him out there.
Alright, so Melissa?
Yeah, go on. But so lost. What's the line? Okay, Astrobar.
Are you paying attention? Because if once
yeah.
you was drinking into the bottle and missing the conversation, I just want to know if you're already there and going to have a conversation with her, or if I'm going to have a conversation with her now, because I need to get my javelin So I'm going to have it.
I'm with her.
Is she drinking?
Oh, she's drinking.
She is fucked up.
Yeah, she doesn't.
No, she made her save.
She won't admit it.
She is drinking like a camel.
She is drinking a lot, but she did make her save, so she is not
true.
drunk.
That's true.
Camel.
She's maybe a little tipsy.
She's very tipsy, but she will remember this.
I'm not thinking.
She's not paying attention.
At this point, she's stopped paying attention.
Once we stop talking about Bear Grylls and the cat, and people start talking about where we're going to go, then she
Okay.
So then,
I would say that in the course of getting ready to leave, loading up the horses again, and heading out on the Gray's Keep, unless you're going to refuse to give it to him, you can get your javelin back from her.
Didn't we rent the
Without too
horses
much
so I could bring him back in a day?
No, you bought them with the understanding that if you did bring them back, you could sell them for 70% of what you
That's how they
paid.
get you.
Which would be the equivalent of renting, but basically they don't know who you are, so they can't.
They couldn't collect
Yeah,
if they wanted.
yeah. So you buy them, and then if you return them, you pay the difference between renting and owning,
On the great
or
Keep.
get paid back the difference.
These are excellent.
Oh, good. Yeah.
Okay, so you all mount up. You all take your horses to the Old Town Road, and you ride until you can't no more.
That old town rockin' road.
No.
We're crossing too many streams here.
The references. There's too many references.
So yeah, you guys make it back to the road. You head towards Gray's Keep. You travel along for a couple of hours.
Jim Cat tried to hold my hand and I swatted away.
Travel along for.
I was literally about to say Jin Cat reaches out to Bear Grylls. Get out of my head, man.
I know.
Um,
I
How did you know that?
as you guys come around a bend, you see up ahead of you
Oh god.
a tree has fallen over the road.
We walk over it and continue.
Where's
looking
my
like
It's a-
D20?
It's
What was the name of that troll?
Wait, I haven't found
that was
Or
Erp.
Erp?
Oh no, that was the druid. Domp the troll, but
That's right. Dump.
but he's all the way over by Orton.
I like
In-
this story. Where are you, Dump?
All right, how big is this tree?
This is a pretty massive tree. Like, in order to get past it with the horses, you guys are gonna have to move this tree.
All right, I moved the tree.
you can't just go around it.
It's
Can't go
Guys,
over it. Can't
I
go
got
around
this.
Eldritch
It's a
blast.
tree. It's me.
in this particular area. It's kind of rocky and hilly, and this is kind of a natural, almost like a choke point. And the tree has fallen over.
Over that.
And it just if it had fallen anywhere else along the road, you probably could have just moved around it.
I use my pokey flute to wake up the tree so that it just moves.
It's a tree to widow.
Okay, so there's a pretty big tree that's fallen over, and you can either climb over it and move on without the horses, or you can move the tree so you can get the horses through.
Can I roll a perception check to see if there's anything around?
Sure.
Like any
Bingo.
people or
Yeah, I'm gonna send Saul.
Doing that? Is
Do I?
there like is the tree trunk so big that it's too hard for us to like tie rope to like a branch or something in the other end of the horses and have them like like pivot just like one end of it enough to get it out of the road?
No, you can probably do that.
Can we do that? Why would we just do that?
Do I
Before anyone
naturally
approaches it,
perceive
though,
anything around? Like this is.
I mean, you hear some birds and some other wildlife.
I got
Okay.
12.
I send
Yeah, you,
I send Saul up and over and around the perimeter of the tree, looking for anyone that's waiting in ambush.
Roll
to
perception.
approach. With me through his eyes, can I use my perception bonus? Or
Sure.
Okay, cool. I think that probably doesn't make any difference.
This is why going like weeks without drinking.
Yep, no difference.
Is a bad idea.
For one shoe or for you?
And
Wait,
I'm
are
gonna
you
go
tipsy?
ahead and use
So,
my inspiration.
I'm drunk.
You're drunk? We have a drink girl in our house.
Yeah.
What?
When did that happen?
She's very in
That was
character,
quick.
guys.
Yeah.
All right, everyone else needs to catch up.
I'm just gonna use that
Beers, it's
inspiration.
not much to catch up on.
Yeah. 19.
Yeah, he doesn't see anything.
Fuck you.
Okay, so Johanna, are you walking over and like tying ropes and getting ready to do this?
She's gonna help me.
Okay. So the two of you go and you tie some ropes around one of the branches at one end of the tree. Is anyone else doing anything while they're
Verdro
doing
sadly deactivates his Eldritch Blast.
You're gonna roll all my rolls for me if I need to, because I haven't had on my lap.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Jimcat's preparing to like help guide the tree muscle.
She's gonna be busy for a while,
I
Mike.
am. Because
Okay, so you all get
She's named
ropes on the
Dolly
trees.
Levi.
You tie them to the horses.
Dolly Levi.
Who is going to be where while you're moving this
I'm
tree?
ready with making sure one shoe's okay, because she's
On the horse.
I'm gonna be.
Okay, so you two are going to be driving the horses
yeah.
because you're sitting on them.
I'm gonna climb.
How many horses are we doing?
What?
How many horses do we
Is
need?
it 3 of them?
You guys have 5, I believe.
Oh, is it
I think
5?
the 2 of you are doubled up.
I cast suggestion and tell the tree you should move.
Burn a spell slot doesn't do anything.
Well, fuck you.
I climb over the tree, and on the other side, I'm like helping push as the horses.
Okay, so you're pushing the tree.
Yes.
I do tense up when he gets near Johanna on his way to the other side of the tree.
I am
She was
on the
other side of
ground
the tree. Calm down.
in front of my
Fast first
horse,
get to the other side.
But you're with the horses.
helping my horse, but I'm looking the other direction.
Okay.
Do I mean like I'm looking the way we came?
Are you at the tree, at the horses? Are you pushing?
So I'm
Like,
gonna say that my horse is not one of the horses that's
I hold
tied
up the
up.
axe.
My horse is like off to the side, like I'm supervising what's happening in the area.
okay, so you're not actually helping them.
Correct.
Okay. All right.
I hold
So-
my weak little elf arms and I'm like, these won't do it.
You got
What?
You're an
Mom!
your supervisor says, "Pull!" And you start pulling with the horses. You start pushing on the tree. Give me an athletics check. And whoever's driving the horses, give me animal handling.
Yeah, I'll
doing-
drive the
10.
horses. Sure.
I'm sitting on that damn
Oh,
horse.
man.
15 on the horse.
13.
19.
Okay. The tree shudders a little bit, doesn't quite budge, and then it starts to slowly get dragged, and like bits are flying off because it's being dragged across the ground. Jinkat, I need you to make me a dexterity saving throw.
Ooh.
Wait,
That
can we roll back?
is
I want to
a
make an
12.
awesome ramp.
A 12?
Oh, 12.
Okay. You
So it's great when he repeats it back.
all of a sudden, while you're pushing this tree, you hear chittering in your ear, and you look up, and a very irate squirrel is poking its head out of a hollow in the tree, and it lunges at you and scratches at your face, and you take
So Saul didn't even see the squirrel with the 9 I'm kidding.
you take 3 points of slashing damage.
Really?
It rolled really high.
It's a really angry squirrel.
I swat the squirrel away.
roll me an unarmed attack.
This should be initiative, shouldn't it?
Fight the squirrel.
The demonic squirrel.
Squirrel fight. Turn on the squirrel fight music.
11.
11?
Yeah.
Yeah, 11 hits. So you hit it, and it goes flying about 10 feet, and you go back to pushing, and the tree gets pushed out of the way. Do you stay right there?
Wait, I took 3 slashing damage?
Yeah.
I'm unconscious again.
You didn't heal at all?
No!
No!
Jake gets killed by a
So the tree moves out of the way, and you all see Jinkat lay there unconscious with a very angry squirrel perched on top. And you see some blood dripping from scratches in his face.
Perched on this horse. She's been like close to catatonic this whole time. Perched up, starts laughing so hard she falls off.
and her hat falls
Roll me
off
an
too.
acrobatics check at disadvantage. or dexterity saving throw at disadvantage. Dex save.
Verdros uncorks his wineskin and just...
Natural one.
Yeah, okay, you do not manage to land on your feet. You take as much bludgeoning damage as he took slashing damage.
Where's my bludgeoning?
3.
Oh my god, this is the greatest encounter ever.
I got a 4 and a
Verdros is just drinking his wine.
So,
Okay, so
Gosh.
Somehow
I
this
go
takes
over.
the
death saving throw.
Are you serious? From a squirrel.
17.
Alright, that's one success.
so
You might want to, Rogard, it seems Jim Cat has gotten himself into trouble. You might want to make sure he's not dying.
Sorry, I'll get into character too.
there's not much I can do.
Karma.
So
Can't you heal him?
You can make a medicine check to stabilize him.
okay.
Natural one.
I mean, I'll do my best. 22.
Okay, yeah, he's stabilized.
Okay.
He's good.
A
right,
good
well-
DC on that is 10.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're still unconscious, but you are not making saving throws. You're stable.
Can someone help me
Get him on the horse.
get him on the horse?
No one's gonna heal me?
I can't.
All right.
Help Rogar get Jin Cat back onto Jin Cat's horse, and then she ties Jin Cat's horse's reins to her saddle on her.
I'm a heavy
Okay.
fucker, just so you know.
That's why you're on your own horse.
Do I
Are you
have
sure
cure
you
wounds?
want?
I do. I have cure wounds.
Horse tied to
And I have
Do you have any spells? Okay.
Yeah, I have 2 spell slots. I crawl towards Jim Cat in a fit of laughter.
I have spent dying, I forgot.
Yeah,
Forgot.
you forgot.
Put my hand on his shoulder and cast cure wounds. Creature you touch regains double hit points equal to 1d8 plus your spell.
I got it.
casting.
Okay.
Thank you.
This is so much.
D10.
This is so much better than I expected it to be.
Where's my spell casting?
I have used up
I think that's
almost
wisdom.
everything except poisoning all of you.
I can't go down to a squirrel, guys.
You're fine.
Yeah, you're stable. Even if they don't heal you, like you're not gonna die.
Yeah, I stabilize.
It just means that you're starting
not
your
this
your
time.
long rest now.
Equals proficiency plus wisdom modifier? I don't
Yeah,
understand what this
so-
means. 1d8,
All right,
which is
so
an 8
8 plus what's your wisdom?
plus
so
3 is
11 health. All right.
No, plus wisdom plus proficiency.
Yeah.
Oh, so plus another 2, so 13.
Yep.
Hey, look! I give you so much
Oh my
health!
gosh.
And then she rolls on her back, kicking her legs in the air.
Wait, did that happen?
Hysterically.
Did that happen after we got him on the horse?
I set up demon squirrel.
Yeah, it took her that long to recover.
Johanna unties his reins from her saddle and throws him up over the horse's head so it lands
On Jim.
on its neck.
All right.
By Jin Cat's hand.
Okay, so the tree's moved out of the way. The squirrel is sitting on the tree and chittering at you angrily, but not making any moves.
Jin Cat's taking a wide berth around the demon squirrel.
Until a raven swoops down and grabs the
Ravens don't eat squirrels.
Mine does.
Well, he's not a raven, so.
So yeah, you guys continue on and don't run into any more issues.
I'm gonna resummon Saul as an owl soon. So.
Would you like to make camp for the night, or are you going to try and push through the night and have to make a save against exhaustion?
Verdro's sitting over there with full health. It's just like,
I was I'm at full.
should stop.
Okay. All right, so you all find a place that's just off of the road.
You cured me of my catatonic state.
That
I mean, considering it was his.
I literally have 2 lines for this encounter. A tree's fallen over the road and blocks passage. Either you have to find a way around or get it out of the way. The only ambush here is your party moving in on the disgruntled squirrel that had a nest in the dead trunk.
wow.
And it was the greatest 2 minutes ever.
And mood is officially lightened. All right, so you
Erase the 2 little filled-in spell slots in the bubble I got
Yeah. So you all find a place to make camp.
Jim Cat goes, I'll take first watch.
No!
No.
The entire group, no!
I'll stay up with them.
In Elvish, fuck you!
And Elvis
Joke's
language.
on you. I don't understand what that means.
So I get my hit dice.
Okay, so Rogar and Jinkat are going to take the first watch.
I'm going
Sure.
to the plug to sleep.
I think somebody needs to stay. I'm gonna stay up with them too.
Rogar's staying up.
No.
Okay. All right.
No,
And we get
dang.
all of our hit points back, right?
At
Only
the end of the long
because-
rest.
I tried to murder you.
No, you tried to murder my friend.
Okay, so
Seems a little.
I know
Jinkat,
whoever's in
Rogar,
charge
and
of you,
Zalissa.
but I'm still kind of questioning.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna sleep for the first watch. Well, transfer my 4 hours. but-
Okay. So the three of
It's a
you
beautiful tree.
stay up. Johanna and
Second watch.
Johanna will take second watch, as will Verdros. Are you going to take the third watch then?
Sure.
Okay. By yourself with your wineskin? You three, I need perception checks.
During this, let me increase college.
Natural 20.
Oh fuck. Seven.
Not you.
But
You're
her
asleep.
disadvantage because she
Those
drowned.
three.
Damn it! Can I give my natural 20 to somebody?
Me.
No.
No, but I will count it for when you're on watch.
Yeah. That's a
10.
25.
10,
7.
7. Rogar? Perception check.
No, I just wanted to do something else with it. Yeah,
Oh, okay.
14.
Okay.
Oh wait, like 16.
Okay. All right. So the three of you, well, you two go to sleep and you go into your trance.
Yep.
The three of you stay up, keeping an eye out, and you hear some rustling from some wildlife nearby, but nothing
Freaks out to squirrel.
nothing to be concerned about unless you're Jin Cat.
Yeah, he's got a new phobia, doesn't he?
Yes, squirrel TSD.
Post-traumatic squirrel disorder.
I'm like, someone's got to say it.
Oh, I do have it then. Moving on.
So, the end of your watch comes. Nothing has happened. You wake up. Verdros and Johanna, you wake up and take your watch. I need perception checks from both of you.
That's gonna be a dirty 20, boss. And for her, it's gonna be 16. So dirty 20 for me, 16 for Johanna, and 22 for Saul.
Okay. You stay up.
Oh, I just want to say that while we're taking watch, I feel like for the watches that Johanna and Deirdre take together, she usually like chatters every once in a while about something, but she's a little bit quieter than normal.
Okay.
Hey.
Oh.
Probably about like an hour in, Verdros would just say, "I am sorry."
She doesn't really say anything. She just kind of shrugs her shoulders and keeps looking.
And he doesn't like sit there expecting her to say anything back. He just says it. It's a fact. It's out there, and that's that.
Juicy.
Oh, I'm sad.
I love this.
I have loved this entire session. That went so much better than I could have hoped for.
After about 3 hours, I stand over Jin Cat's sleeping body with a dead arm.
Your
Rabbit squirrel.
You can smell the whiskey on his breath.
okay. Your watch comes to an end.
Yeah,
You go back to sleep. You wake up.
baby.
You don't need to sleep anymore because you already did your 4
Yeah,
hours of
I'm all
trancing.
set.
So you're both
Still by
on
Squirrel.
third watch, and you rolled a nat 20.
A nat 20.
Need another perception check from you.
Oops, sorry, Bert.
Which is the 25.
Me. Oh no, I'll let Saul sleep.
Drunk person.
Maybe.
Am I not allowed to tell you I love you?
I feel like you're trying to tell me something else, though, too.
I love you.
I have a coworker.
13.
You're talking with him and you get distracted. That's
Okay.
what gets your attention again.
Can I retcon? Saul slept for second watch. He was awake for third watch.
Sure.
Okay. Because I forgot there would be a third watch.
Yeah. Okay, so
I also gathered some grubs for him. That's why I only got a 13 on third watch.
okay.
Yeah. A
Saul
little pile.
Saul appreciates it because he put in a lot of work back there in the cave.
Yeah. Oh shit! He and I have to. Third watch. I'm going to have a very long telepathic conversation with him. I want to know everything.
Okay.
We went to hell.
They're having a conversation.
It's telepathic, and they don't need to make eye contact or anything. It just happens between them. So I would say, make me a sleight of hand with advantage. What's your passive perception?
It might
Sleight
be
of hand with
a
advantage
14.
for what am I doing? I'm making it, but what am I doing?
Just to control like your reactions to whatever he's saying, making it so that it doesn't seem like you're having a conversation.
That's a 12, but wouldn't performance?
I mean, that would work too. Your choice.
12.
Okay.
But same. But
What's your passive?
14.
14?
Yeah.
You notice, like, he's looking at Saul, and every now and then he just kind of, like, his eyes might narrow a little bit, but other than that,
We're just
you're not
very
picking up
reserved
much.
anyway.
He is pretty reserved anyway. He spends a lot of time in his own head.
Talking about
Bad, but
Well, you tend to do a lot of thinking, as opposed to...
sure.
Yeah, you don't think out loud. You kind of play your cards close to your chest, you
But
know.
does he have an abnormally large forehead? Something we would
I
say a
do
fry
when
head.
What? No?
I just
I mean,
He's
it
alive.
looks
He
like
must
he
have
has
a large
a
brain.
few tentacles coming out of his chin.
Ah.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Okay, so you
And a special taste for brains.
okay, and we'll handle that outside of this so that I can write it all up.
Cool.
Yeah.
You didn't have it right. You didn't think I'd ask?
I had some ideas of what it would be,
But it's
but
probably not important. so
it's
we
not
can
super.
discuss
Yeah.
it. Fair.
Um,
Got you, boo-boo.
okay, so your rest comes to an end. Nothing happened. You all completed a long rest. You're back to full hit points. You have your spell slots back. If you used hit dice, you regain up to half of your maximum. So if you used 3 or more, you only get 2 back because you're all level 4. All right, you got it
I
back.
also made Johanna's breakfast. So it's like sitting in front of her when she wakes up.
Did you spice it up anyway?
Oh, what's Johanna's favorite flavor?
Pumpkin
I think your
spice.
sort of favorite food was, which is toast.
She did say that before.
I make it delicious toast. Delicious toasty
It's
taste.
bread.
Prestidigitation.
Cinnamon toast crunch prestidigitation.
Press the toastation.
Okay.
Shibba-da-bop-bop. Boom.
Jazziest toast you've ever had.
Okay, so
And with the toast, all is forgiven.
I think Charles Dickens ends
For
that
now.
Yeah, for now.
okay, so you all come to. You have breakfast. You break camp. Is there anything you would like to say or do before hitting the road again?
I'm changing up my spells.
Well, yeah, you, both of you, and I think paladins too, prepare your spells at the beginning of every day. Usually, you prepare the same ones, which is why you're not constantly.
Can I
changing
look
it.
at mine?
Yeah, but
I got themes.
every single time you do a long rest, you can change what spells you have. It's just usually you guys stick with the same ones, so
When you level
just because it's easier.
for every day.
I know.
And remember, you can't change cantrips,
7
just
or 8
spells.
spells, but I think I can only have like 3 of them.
Rangers prep?
Rangers don't prep.
No,
No, you just learn your spells.
I know all my spells.
You know the spells that you chose when you leveled up. When you level up, you can exchange one for a different one.
So I only know 3 spells.
You only know however many spells it says you know.
Okay, that's good to know because I've always considered.
It is good to know.
Oh.
I'm always like, oh, maybe I'll switch what I want. Oh shit! We have a problem then.
Start over, back to the beginning.
We're going.
Yeah, new game.
We're going to just say whatever has happened up to this point happened, and magical weirdness explains it.
Okay.
Hey, let's have an hour-long conversation about what your magic has been doing.
I definitely would keep those two.
Yeah, at 4th level, you know 3 spells, period.
Okay, so
But we're about to level up, so now you know 4?
you all
Good try.
break camp. You get your horses saddled up.
I thought
If there's anything else you want to do before you guys head out, let me know. Otherwise, we will continue.
Although the squirrel leveled up.
Any takers?
Zip up my pants
Nope,
and
good.
climb out.
Going.
Gin cats.
Ready to go.
Going. Gone. All right. So you guys hit the road.
Jack.
You are traveling, and you're traveling for probably a couple hours or so, and then you notice up ahead that there is a cart with 2 men sitting in the front of the cart. It's a covered cart. They've got some horses hooked up to it, and they're just they're traveling the same direction that you are.
Oh, traveling the same direction.
Yeah, you guys are catching up to them.
Oh.
Because our horses are going.
Well, because they are carrying a big, heavy cart, or they have a cart.
Is the cart filled with stuff?
I mean, it's covered. It looks like there is stuff, but there's.
Yeah.
Saul's been sort of riding on my, perch on my staff and just.
Okay. Yeah, he flies up. Give me a perception check.
That's cock. 14.
Yeah, it's a couple of guys. They look like they're maybe early middle age, and they're just kind of traveling along. They haven't noticed you all. It looks like they have just one of them has like a short sword, and they both have like a dagger on the hip, but nothing.
Can Saul land on the back of their wagon and sort of poke his head up inside the whatever tarp or blanket or whatever's covering? Canvas?
Sure. Okay. He does so, and he sees pretty much just some crates, some sacks, maybe a chest, but nothing.
He'll like come back to the back of the cart and then flutter down to the ground and wait for us to catch up with him. And he'll like pick at some grabs and stuff.
Okay.
Or pick at,
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
The dust.
do you guys approach? You'd have to slow down if you don't want to approach.
Wouldn't we just pass them anyway?
Yeah, what if we were just
Oh, I get
I mean,
what
they're
you're
still
saying.
moving.
Yeah, we'd have to slow down if we want to keep... We're traveling faster than them, so we'd have to slow our pace to keep our distance.
It's probably not uncommon to come across travelers on the road.
No, I don't think
say
so.
continue.
Yeah, let's keep- let's go.
I wouldn't
I look
think-
around and be like, should I... Okay.
Do I
I
know
lower
you?
my hood and it's like,
Absolutely.
hello, traveler. Hello, friends.
Hello!
We don't want you to think we're sneaking up on you.
And at that, they look over their shoulders, and one of them kind of raises a hand and says, "Hail, fellow travelers!"
Hi.
We'll come up. I mean, unless anything happens, I'm just going to pass them and be like, good morning to you, and keep going.
Bahamut's praise be upon you, gentlemen.
As you get closer, they're going to kind of say, "Are you looking to buy anything? We've got some goods. We're
Do you have
carting."
any axes?
We're fresh out of axes. Sorry. We mostly have rope and lantern oil and just general supplies. We do have we do have a couple of minor magical items we've picked up. If you'd like to take a look.
Ooh, such as?
Well, we have this Everclean cloak pin, and basically it's a pin that you use to keep your cloak in place, and it is never dirty.
The pin or the cloak?
The pin.
The pin is. It's just the pin. The cloak can be dirty.
It's an ever-clean cloak pin.
I was hoping that it
And-
was
You're gonna get us in trouble.
While they're not watching, I press to digitate, and my cloak is completely clean. Like,
And we have this really nice cloak that protects against the cold, and it's a very
Isn't that what every cloak does?
this is a particularly
cloak of resistance.
thick cloak, and if any of you use detect magic to see if these things are magical, or
I have identified.
Are you?
It will take it.
No, but is it made of direwolf skin?
no, it looks like it's some kind of leather, but the inside is almost like a grayish white with black spots. Just on the inside, like mostly around the collar.
Would I be able to tell if that's direwolf?
It's not direwolf. It looks like it might be
But is it direwolf?
Is it direwolf?
it might be like some kind of like a mink or like something like that.
Do you have any direwolf cloaks?
No. Although that one looks good. You gave that to Zelissa, right? The cloak.
The cloak, I think I did. The hat.
Yeah. So she's got the cloak on.
Did I give you the hat? Or did I buy
You
it?
put it
You
on
have
you.
the hat for yourself, didn't you?
I did, but I can't remember if I gave it to Jin Cat or if I just placed it on his head.
And then like put it back.
Yeah.
Put it up his butt.
I remember that.
Because
But-
right now I'm wearing the wine.
The wine tour hat.
Did you?
Such a lush.
You didn't get rid of your
Unfortunately,
butt
this is
hat?
all we've got,
I would've kept
and
it.
this cloak does give you resistance against cold damage, but it doesn't do
How
anything
much
else.
were you looking for?
Oh, that's a good question. Give me just a second while I look up my.
Where's Missy? Is she? Which
When you're done with that, Adam, I want to inquire about another product.
That one will run you about 375 gold pieces.
I can get a cursed axe for less than that.
What was that?
I can get an axe for less than that.
What were you gonna say?
I
don't know where that came from.
Heavy crossbow.
I don't know what that was. That's what you should have done when it came out. I don't know what that was.
They have 5.
What do they? I mean, she'll take them, but what are they asking for pie?
We'll just say
Your friends will survive on another day.
a gold would cover all 5.
Another
of them.
demon, another devil.
She'll do it.
Okay.
Where are we at?
You guys came across a couple of guys on a cart, and they have some wares that they're trying to sell.
Beans will live for another. What?
Will you just bring me my D&D stuff over here?
Glad to know you're so enraptured in the game.
I am! I just don't ever get to have cats sitting on me, and it's one of my favorite things.
Is that
She's used to
frowned upon
giving
at
them
work?
shots and taking blood and.
Right, and then they bite me, and then they don't like me. They never want to be my friend.
Wait, when did this become about our sex life? Bite you, don't want to be your friend.
You don't like her after you bite her?
Well, I'm the one doing the biting.
Oh
Let's be clear.
Oh shit. I just kicked your.
I've done that so many times.
Okay, good. It's not just me.
I've never broken it though.
You broke the other one.
Yes, the other one I did. Okay, so
Where is the other one?
Oh,
We don't have one there anymore?
nope,
Oh.
because it's broken.
Burp!
Go up or down? Nope, it goes up.
Yep.
Oh, jeez.
Okay, so you bought 5.
Oh, don't turn it upside down.
5
What?
crossbow bolts for one,
Here.
Well,
look, you fucked it up.
I don't know if I broke it or what. Here, well, I knocked it and it bent
Oh, gotcha.
the
I
prongs.
think if you do it upside down, it does something goofy. It's fine. We'll just do
Like
that.
leak.
No, I think it like burns the unit.
Mooch, come this way. Come on, buddy. I'm gonna go in.
Here, Mooch.
Thank you. Good boy.
Okay, so
I'm inquiring about the clothes.
Oh, honey, do you need your phone?
Mooch.
okay, so 375 gold for the cloak of resistance to cold. It's an uncommon wondrous item. That's actually pretty cheap.
That is really cheap, but well, what environment are we going? Are we in temperate, or I mean, are we?
It's temperate. It's unless you guys are planning on going north a fair amount, you probably won't need cold resistance.
Well,
that
based on
said,
the outline that we've seen of the whole campaign,
Would have been
I
helpful.
mean, we're going to the hells, so it doesn't really matter.
yeah,
I mean, what?
It would have been helpful during the Oni attack.
it would have.
He's the merchant of retroactive importance.
Okay. Other than that, they just have some name some adventuring supplies. They probably have it. You good?
Wait.
We're good.
You good?
Moving on.
All right.
Oh, Johanna, when you asked them about crossbow bolts, I would have just handed you a quiver with 20.
Of heavy crossbow bolts.
Because there's no such thing as a heavy crossbow.
In my campaign, I established that they are actually different bolts.
You're a bitch.
Yeah. And
Okay, then never mind.
A heavy crossbow. Yeah.
Fine. Dicks.
I like to diversify the equipment a little bit more.
Yeah.
Okay, so you all thank them for for sharing what wares they have, and they give you the bolts, and they let you move on your way.
I'm gonna sell them my bolt case, and also my crossbow that I don't have. Wait. Yeah, I'm gonna sell them my crossbow and my bolts because I don't need them. Unless anybody else needs a crossbow.
It's just a light crossbow.
Yeah.
What does it do?
It shoots crossbow bolts.
How much damage does it do?
1d8?
1d6.
Does it have any special features?
No.
You can't multi.
Oh no, it is 1d8.
Yeah.
It is 1d8.
Yeah.
But you can't.
It's hand crossbows that are 1d6.
Multiple attacks with it unless you have a special feature.
This really should be 1d4, I think, but
Thank you, Mr.
just one man's
You're welcome.
opinion.
Okay. Yeah, they'll buy the bolts and the crossbow from you for 17 gold.
Okay, I tell them to put that towards Johann, the price of barter it towards Johanna's crossbow.
Okay, hers only cost 1 gold, so
I gave them.
she already gave them 1 gold for the heavy
Why did it
crossbow
only cost?
because it was only 5 bolts. It wasn't the crossbow
okay.
itself.
Then never mind. Take your 1 gold back, and I'll take 16 gold.
Okay.
Okay. Thanks.
Do we notice the sucking up that's happening here?
It's not sucking up. I probably would have done that before.
It's not the
anyway.
first time that he's done something like that.
You didn't buy Jinka or anything.
Yeah, I'll buy you
Okay.
a swift kick in the ass. That's what I'll buy you.
So they thank you for your business, and you move on. You keep traveling. Most
The bow and the bolts and the quiver, right?
yes. So you continue on, and
Gracious senior.
just FYI, it is no longer the month of Oxtuary. It is the month of November. November.
You are the greatest. I love you.
It is the 1st of November. It is All Hallows Day, and it is a full moon tonight. So,
As the full moon rises, you see Verdros punch over. No.
so you all continue on. nothing really happens for the rest
Wait a
of the
second.
afternoon.
I turn my horse around. How did you get past the tree?
And the rabid squirrel.
Wait, Jim Cat's not here to protect himself.
There was a side road like 100 feet back from it. You didn't look for it?
I feel like
course
you
we
just
did.
made that up. Katya. No, you're good.
Anyway.
We move on.
So, towards the end of the day, just as it's starting to get dark, the sun's starting to go down, you notice there's not far off from the road, there's like a side road that goes off to what looks like a small hamlet, just a few little houses and whatnot. There's 3 kids playing next to the road, where the road crosses. Two of them are standing underneath this large oak tree, while the third is climbing it to try to reach a nest of eggs.
I Eldritch Blast the nest.
I
don't.
The nest is really high up, but the kid is super determined. He kind of slips a couple times but catches himself, and he's still climbing. He's probably about 25-30 feet up at this point. So
What is he? He's just trying to get a nest of eggs?
Yeah.
That's it?
How big is the kid?
he's
How old is it?
No, how big? Like how much does the child weigh?
Is this a chubby kid?
ballpark. I'd say probably, what does Caitlin weigh?
How much All Hallows
Oh, I
candy
don't know.
did he eat?
60, 70 pounds?
Okay, so he's probably about 85 pounds.
Shit. Okay.
That's
Yes, he is chubby.
Now I'm curious. I should know how much my niece weighs.
Is it a little boy or a little girl?
I don't
Little
know
boy.
if that's true.
It's not true.
Does that matter?
So
Child has no gender.
So this little boy is climbing up this tree. He's already almost fallen a couple times, but he is determined to get to that nest.
I'm
And
going to head over and cast Friends as I approach
on
on the boy.
the boy that's climbing.
Yes.
What's the range?
For the duration, you have advantage on all charisma checks directed at one creature of your choice that isn't hostile towards you. So I don't think there is a range. I'm casting it on myself.
Okay.
But directed at him.
Okay.
Jimcast
Yeah.
concerned about the demon thing that's casting friends on a small child.
Hey, you have never sensed any demonic energy from me. I'm pretty sure.
Do these kids
You're a
like clearly
warlock.
need
I
our
have
help,
some
or we just
basic
kind of
knowledge.
concerned?
Says who?
Or do they clearly
Eldritch
need our
Blast.
help, or are
Uh,
they
well,
just concerned?
Bards could have.
You can
Eldritch
see
Blast.
I've never heard you
the two
sing.
kids that are on the ground. One's a boy and one's
Not
a
every
girl.
bard
The
is
boy
a
is
singer.
egging him on,
never
like,
heard you be
keep
artistic
going,
in
get
Or
the
song.
I'm artistic
nest.
with my
And the girl's
words,
like,
a good bard.
you've already almost fallen twice. You should really come back down here.
I
Why
cast
don't you just
Friends.
turn into a giant
Okay.
eagle and
And
carry
I'm
him
going
on?
to
I was thinking about it.
persuade. I'm going to say, you really should listen to your friends. It's quite dangerous.
Well, one's saying
Roll
go
persuasion
for it, the
check.
other one's saying
Yeah,
go
one
for
of
it.
them is
It
egging him on. The
really
other
is
one
not
is
safe. You should listen to your friend here.
roll a persuasion check.
At
And
this
as
time,
friends, I have advantage.
Okay.
Fuck!
Yeah, holy
At
shit.
this time, Jim
1
has
and 3,
walked
so
over
that's a
to-
9.
How high is he trying?
You
to
rolled an
climb?
11, so he's not going to listen.
How high is he trying to climb?
He is currently about 35 feet up, and the tree itself is only about 45 feet, so he's getting into the thinner branches.
I'm gonna egg him on.
No, one shoe.
He needs to learn.
No, I'm gonna
easy.
I'm gonna transform.
Do you have?
Okay.
I don't know what I'm gonna transform into yet.
Keep going, kid. You can do it.
Babe,
I
Is that my?
is that what you're gonna?
Yeah, probably. That's
Okay.
what I was going for. Either that or some.
So you got it.
So
Okay, I'm gonna transform
into
my giant eagle shape.
Beautiful.
Is that why you came up with this? Did you set me up for this?
no.
Oh.
I don't design
this is an
particular.
You are an independent.
Beautiful.
Oh,
Yeah.
right.
don't try to tell me you didn't design that squirrel to kill me.
I didn't. That went so much better than I
That
expected.
was DM revenge.
Say about
I
the
love
where
that
it's
it was like 3 slashing damage. Oh my god.
I actually.
I went to right. Like,
Squirrel
oh my
attacks
gosh,
you again.
3 is less than.
Am I able to? I don't like. I want to go up there and basically pick the kid up by the back of his shirt and bring him down.
Okay. As you take off,
Damn it! I don't know what to do. I want the kid to do it on his own.
oh, those are really low
Don't
rolls.
kill me.
I'm
So
not gonna kill you for that. God damn it!
there
That's wrong.
are a couple of blue jays that come back. This is their nest. Somehow they don't see you because they rolled super low,
That's amazing.
and they
Shit.
and they start dive bombing this kid, and he starts to fall.
Hey.
Okay.
I send a raven to attack those jays.
Except that your familiar can't make
I'm gonna
attacks.
try to catch
To
the
bother the jays. It goes. "Nyah, nyah, 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 nyah."
kid. I'm gonna try to catch the kid if he falls close.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so you're
Oh, yeah,
running up to try.
I'm
Okay,
under.
I
try
I want you to
catch
I
roll
go
me.
and stand over one shoe, also prepared to catch the kid.
I got him.
Roll me a
Shadow.
dexterity
You
check.
think I can't do it?
I'm just here to.
22.
Okay, yeah, you. As this kid is falling, One Shoe and Jin Cat both run up. One Shoe gets up there with her arms out,
Big smile
underneath
on her face.
the kid, like, I got him! Jin Cat steps right over, I got him. And right above both of you comes this giant eagle form that swoops by, grabs him by the back of his shirt, picks him up, takes him in a circle around the tree, and then sets him down next to the other kids.
Once you kick.
Oh yes, don't
The-
listen to the nice elf man. He doesn't know what he's talking about.
The boy looks terrified.
Yeah.
The other boy is just like, whoa!
I'm gonna go up,
And the
get-
girl is crying.
I'm gonna get in the face of the little boy who
That's
looks
so
terrified
sexy, Dado.
and say, "That's
The
what
girl
happens
is
when you don't
crying.
listen to your elders.
And now he starts crying.
Go home."
I go down. I lean over to this little boy, full ugly half orc face. I'm like, there, it's okay, but it's there, it's okay.
So, the boy who was climbing is now crying.
Yeah.
The girl is crying, and the other boy is like, "That's so cool! Your friend turned into a giant." Are you still an eagle?
Yes.
Okay. "That's so cool! Your friend's a giant eagle. How'd she do that? How can I do that?" She's
Yeah.
she's coming up to you because you're like the closest in height.
Hey, how do you do
I
that,
just
by
said,
the way?
careful.
I
He's
do it
hungry.
magic.
No, I want
Yeah.
As he's questioning you, there's a man and a woman who come running up from the house, one of the houses in the hamlet, and they're just like, "Oh my gosh, I saw what happened. You caught him. You caught Jim. Oh, thank you so much."
Jim
How long?
Cat?
Hey, get out. How long does it take for the parents to get there? Do I have enough time to talk to this kid?
You could probably say something to him pretty
Does
quick.
he ask how you do that?
Yeah.
Alright, here's the secret. In the cover of night, when your parents are asleep,
Oh
Oh
Yeah.
my god.
find the tallest tree.
no! Oh,
Oh,
God.
Sit beneath it in a cross-legged position.
I actually
For
come in and I
hours.
swoop and I pick her up. Can I do that before?
Pick her up.
Yes.
For
Roll me-
hours in silence.
Roll me an attack, and
Shoe.
you roll. Actually, no. This is going to be. Make me a.
Kind of like right before she says like climb a tree.
I didn't say climb a tree.
Roll me a dexterity
What did you
check.
say?
I said find the tallest tree, sit cross-legged beneath it, and stare at it in complete silence for hours until the sun comes up.
But at nighttime, you're putting him in danger. I don't like it once.
Roll me a
you-
dexterity
Delicious
saving
red.
throw,
Also,
and roll me a dexterity check.
Are there other little like houses? Is this like a tiny
20.
little like village outskirts?
That'd be a great.
As you come by and grab at her, she ducks. Like she knows you well enough to know that you're gonna try this, and she ducks. And you go flying right over, and he's just like, "Whoa!"
I'm standing behind one shoe, just going. No.
And then he looks at you. He says, "Okay, I'll do it tonight."
And I'm behind her, just
He kind of backs away from you. At this point,
I get back on my horse and I go away.
At this point, the parents come up and they say, "Thank you so much." I don't know what we.
Did the parents run from like a small group of like cabins?
Yeah, there's a
Was
few.
there just one.
There's a few houses that are, clustered, and they ran from one of them.
Okay, when the parents would come up, I would
Close,
like
very close.
walk my horse up
Oh, the
towards
Lion King.
the rest of these fools.
I heard
Okay.
the evil voice.
Basically,
It's
their parents are just overjoyed that you saved.
This is something that has happened almost verbatim before.
That's why you knew to duck. Duck beats eagle.
Does that not mean anything to you?
So the parents are basically they're so thankful, and they're just so glad that he's okay, and they offer to give you beds for the night. They've got couches, they've got some straw. They can put together beds for you all, and they're also offering you. They're insisting that you come in and let's at least give you a meal. And we've got some venison stew cooking with some potatoes and carrots, and so they are offering you their hospitality and thanks for saving their little boy.
And Cat says, "Okay, plot hook. I mean, ma'am."
So Johanna says,
Well, just
"Thank you
random
very much
camera
for your
thing.
hospitality," and she turns to the group, and it's getting kind of late at this point, right?
Yeah, the sun's starting to go down. You could probably travel for another hour or two before making camp, but you.
She's like, "It beats sleeping on the ground, plus a warm meal."
They might
I agree.
wine.
Oh god. We should move on.
Is there anything I can do for you to help prepare for dinner?
It's almost done already, actually. But if you're a man of the faith, correct? Because they see like your holy symbol. You're dressed as a cleric because you are one.
Okay.
If you could maybe say a prayer over the meal for us.
Okay.
Yeah, I can do that.
Okay. So they usher you all inside, and the kids are super excited. Are you staying a giant eagle at this point?
I can't be in their house as a giant eagle, can
Probably not.
Yeah. Oh,
You can perch on top of the house.
I'm sorry,
I don't
I
perch on
made
top
it
of
clear
the
in the group.
Okay.
You perch on top of this?
Yeah.
Okay. So the rest of you all go inside.
It perches next to you
Oh, hi, Saul.
and speaks in bird with you.
Oh.
I
So
don't
tell me
know-
about your master.
Saul's like a dick to me, but super defensive of me to everyone else.
Hey, yo, this
I don't go inside.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
I don't go inside the house until I know where she is going. And if she perches on top of the house, I don't go inside the house until she perches there for a minute or so.
I know I go because she's staying.
Yeah. Or at least I know.
You look up at her, and
she
she gives you the bird equivalent of a shrug.
I'm like, go ahead.
halfway through the meal, I will grab some food and walk out and toss it
Oh,
to Eagles and stuff.
Okay.
thank you.
Okay, so yeah, they feed you a nice warm meal. It's not bad. It's definitely not.
Peasants.
It's definitely not gourmet,
Food,
but
Michael.
it is much better than you would expect from essentially peasants.
I was so ready to
I
just
went
be
in the
like,
forest, y'all. Like, this is good. This is good food.
yeah.
Yeah, you are particularly impressed.
Some venison and potatoes.
So yeah, they are able to the parents tell the kids that they're gonna sleep in their bed with them tonight. They offer you the kids' rooms and their beds. They're able to pull in some extra straw and make some bedding, and they're able to make enough beds for all of you. After an hour, you come out of your eagle form
Why? I didn't choose to.
because it
You
only
need
lasts
to.
up to an hour.
Oh, okay. I climb in a window.
I'm assuming that
I
you
thought it's
landed
equal-
first.
I think it's more than an hour. I think it's equal to her druid level, I want to say.
What does it say?
Oh, up here.
But while she's figuring that out, at the end of however long it takes, she
Half your druid level.
Half.
so
for
2 hours. Okay, so after 2 hours, you know that your time's running up, so you land and you transform back to Zalissa.
No, I just want to stay on there, transform, and then climb into a window.
All right, make me an acrobatics check or athletics.
I'm good. I made it.
Okay, so she manages to climb in the window of this one-story building.
I forgot that.
And one shoe, you feel a familiar presence climb into bed, curl up next to you.
I sleep a deeper sleep.
So yeah, the next day you wake up and this
Gin Cat stands over the lifeless body of Victor.
How long has it been? Because if it's if it's 12 hours, I would have woken. I would have liked to have gotten the 8 and been up.
you all pretty much sleep. Well, except for you. So you've been up for a bit. You've probably been reading.
Yeah.
I'll say that you probably woke up a little bit before the rest of the group and went to go
Because essentially, I would
pray and
Knights are the jocks of the D&D world.
and the rest of you come to, and the scent of cooking bacon hangs heavy in the air. And you all come to the kitchen table or dining table or whatever their table is, and they have a wonderful breakfast ready for you. There's eggs, there's bacon, there's toast.
Insight on
There is a little bit of wine. What's the insight?
Insight to see if they really are this kind or if they have an ulterior motive. And that's going to be a 21. Nat 20, 21 total.
They seem very genuine. They seem absolutely genuine. You do get the sense that the wine that they have gotten out is probably the only wine that they own that they have probably been saving for a special occasion.
They save wine.
Is it uncorked already?
No, it's uncorked at this time.
Oh, I would have. If I got that sense before they uncorked it, I would have just stayed in their hand and said,
Yeah.
"Don't use that and waste that on us. Save it for a truly special occasion."
Are you sure?
I'm sure.
Okay.
We're merely passing through. Your generosity is quite appreciated, but that's not necessary.
Well, thank you so much. I don't know what we would have done if we lost poor Jimmy.
It's not a problem.
I saved him. Why are you talking on my behalf?
So
flowers at him.
they put
One shoe just from the corner.
The teenager uncorks her own wineskin and takes this thing out.
That said, this breakfast is also incredible. This is so good. The eggs are fluffy, they're fresh, the bacon is cooked perfectly. It's crunchy, but not burnt. It's got plenty of juice. When you bite into it, it's amazing.
This is my juice right here. Oh, only for another 11 weeks. Oh, that makes me sad.
Okay, so you all have a good hearty breakfast.
The kids sleep outside.
No, they slept in their parents' room and
Oh, the kid! Did the
the
kid
one-
sneak out?
Oh, I thought you said that they sleep outside.
there is a little bit of a panic as they try to locate their other kid, and they're running around. Where's Tim? Where's Timmy? And
Tim and Tim?
they're not very imaginative.
They're peasants.
Kim, oh.
Yeah, hey, they're peasants for a
Timmy
reason.
and Kimmy.
It is Kim.
Oh no.
The
Out.
after a brief, kerfluffle, you look out and you see little Timmy has fallen asleep at the base of the same tree that Jimmy had tried to climb before.
Gee, I wonder what inspired him to do that.
And he gets a talking to about sneaking off.
I'll slip him a gold coin.
Roll me sleight of hand.
Probably just confused now.
Way to go, kid.
Way to go, kid. You're on a good start. God, I'm doing both at the same time. It's great. 23.
Fast forward 30 years, Tim's turned into like a sociopath.
Someday it'll work.
He takes it, and his parents don't notice, and he looks at it, and his eyes go wide. He looks up at you. He says, "I'll try again tonight," and he puts it in his pocket.
Do I overhear this?
I don't know. What's your passive perception?
My passive perception is a 14.
Way lower than what she rolled for her sleight of hand.
No.
Two.
You guys trying to pay him back for some hospitality. Maybe the kid will turn into his parents. You never know.
So, unless there's anything else you'd like to do,
That's not.
say to this family or do in this little town, we'll
Let's
say.
blow this taco stand.
I thank the mother for the night that we shared.
What?
What?
I was going to say,
Oh, I cast something a little stronger than friends on her. If
what
you know
else
what
is
I
there
mean.
in the town?
You threw up in the mouth.
Showed her your D4.
It's just a couple of
Shut up, baby.
a couple of houses. It looks like the families here. It looks like what they do is like logging and forestry type stuff. One of the houses has a bunch of like deer skins and rabbit skins that are being tanned. Another house, there's several logs that have been dragged up that they're cutting and splitting. It's just a little village.
I only saw this part, so I bit in and was like, oh, this part.
I love it. They're good.
I'm sorry, your wife and I were having a moment.
Yes.
So, you all hit the road?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, yeah, on a horse.
Okay. So you continue on. Okay. Let's see. All right. So as you're traveling, around about midday, there is a large caged cart that's being pulled by several horses. That is coming up from behind you. They're not moving to intercept you. They're going the same direction you are. And it looks like there are about 8 soldiers and some kind of commanding officer that are accompanying this cart. Do you
I try to notice like
stand aside to let them pass? Do you just continue on? What?
I mean, is there anyone in the cage?
Like, is it
Make
like
a perception
prisoner,
check.
Like Skyrim style.
Yeah, I'm gonna
prison
send
guard?
Saul up. He's not gonna get too close,
Okay.
but yeah, I want to know.
13.
I'll ask the commanding.
Oh, wait.
I'll ask the commanding officer. Where are you headed? Is there trouble?
Nat 20.
Now,
There-
20 as well. 23 total for me. You're gonna
There are a few people in the cart. It looks like they are bound. And the cart itself and all the soldiers, they have identifying marks and colors of Haldrum. So they're soldiers of Haldrum. Johanna would recognize.
Do I recognize any of the soldiers, or just recognize their sigil?
You don't recognize any of these individual soldiers, but from a very familiar eye, you can tell. Okay, yeah, these are soldiers. Like they're marching in the same way, and they have the few commands that are barked are consistent with
soldiery.
when you were an active soldier in Haldrum's army. The captain responds to you, Jinkat, and basically says, "Just transporting some prisoners.
What?
Just transporting some prisoners."
What are their crimes?
myriad, some banditry, some pickpocketing, and one murderer.
Verdros at the banditry and pickpocketing. Verdros is just like.
From where to where are you transporting them?
Basically, he basically tells you that the jails and prisons sometimes get full in the other towns, and they'll shuffle prisoners around to fill. Gray's Keep has a much more expansive dungeon, so it's not uncommon for if a lot of thieves get picked up, say in Palom, which is a huge trade city. There's a lot of crime there. It's not unheard of for them to get transported from there to Gray's Keep. I will say, you asked if you recognized any of them.
Yeah.
You do recognize one of the prisoners.
You do?
You all do.
Who is it?
Except for you.
Okay.
Who is it?
This is Margaret.
Which one was Margaret?
Oh, that little.
Remember
She stole the gems.
we chased her.
Oh yeah, fucking
Hey,
Margaret.
is this the bitch I got framed for?
Yes.
She didn't frame you necessarily.
But she did the thing that I was.
Oh yeah. You got picked up for what she did, but she didn't intentionally frame you.
But this is the bitch I got framed for.
Literally,
As she passes-
into the cage and start like guffawing.
She looks at you quizzically for a moment, and then she realizes who you all are, and she's like, "Oh," and she just kind of turns and hides her face.
I would turn to the lead guy, whatever their commander, and say, "Is this compliment normal for such a transport route? Complement of soldiers, or are you expecting trouble along this road?"
Well, we've had increased bandit activity out of the Burnt Hills. It seems there's some pack of orcs that are uncharacteristically far south that have been terrorizing some of the
What orcs?
Orcs terrorizing. Interesting.
Yeah, they're usually not this far south, but we've gotten several reports of orc activity.
Do they have identifying marks, these orcs?
None that's really been presented to us, but I'll tell you what, they're efficient. They seem to really know their stuff. They get in, they do whatever they're gonna do, and then they get out. There's only been a couple of casualties, mostly people who are resisting. They seem more focused on thievery, which I wouldn't expect that from an orc. But
Do you know where they've been so
I would
far?
expect much more violence.
spread around the southwestern part of this part of the country.
So probably not the orcs that I have a former beach with.
It's not the same area, no.
What's up, Jinkat?
I don't like orcs. I'm a little racist.
We don't.
By the way, they're-
hiding our pasts in this.
By the way, they're not stopping to talk to you.
Yeah.
Like you're kind of reaching the point that they're moving past you.
We're asking one soldier, and the one behind him is responding.
Just stares at you and takes like a swift.
I didn't hear all of that stuff, so I don't know that you just revealed your whole history.
Oh.
If they're going the same way.
Oh my god, this was poop.
It is.
I call out to the commander. Would you mind if we joined you?
What's happening in this household?
I don't know if
I know
they
you have a
want
young child.
us
so-
getting in their
You
way.
To be honest, it's a security risk to take unknown travelers along with us.
Yeah,
If
that's
you don't mind, give us a few minutes to pass by, and
Travel well.
thank you.
I don't get grossed out.
Still
So.
giggling.
Oh, I feel like
Yeah, so they keep going. You guys let them pass.
Also, I feel like that.
You wait. How long do you wait
Not that
before
big of a deal. Yeah.
going? 5
I know
minutes.
we
Have
get
lunch.
out of
Have lunch.
We'll have lunch.
Once
Okay.
they're out of earshot, I'm like, do you mind if we join you?
Seemed like safe travels.
Now that you know my horrid past.
I know nothing
Perhaps
about
you
your horrid past.
Wait, have you
I know
shared
that
something?
you're
Considered a rest.
Yeah, that was a long rest.
We went over this.
I didn't know that you had problems with the law.
Demon law.
Yeah, demon
No, it has nothing to do with demon law.
Isn't this Verdros 2.0?
Jincat's very intrigued. Did you all talk about something while I was gone?
No.
Only about whether or not we can kill you.
One might even say we should hide in plain sight. It's fine. It's of no consequence.
Okay, so you all are pulled off to the side of the road because you let them pass, and you're fixing lunch. It sounds like. So you're sitting.
Is it lunchtime?
Yeah, it's midday.
It's second breakfast.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
So,
Shorter than a hobbit.
so you all are fixing.
You're a halfling.
I'm a gnome.
Oh, you're a gnome.
I'm
Shit.
like 3 feet tall.
So you all are fixing food, and you're eating, and
Yeah.
Yeah.
you actually, as you finish eating, or start to finish eating, you take out before you left the lovely family had given you a blueberry pie to take for the road.
Aww.
So
I don't trust it.
at the end of your lunch, you
I throw it on the ground.
divide it up, and you all are eating your pie. As you are eating, you hear the sound of hooves thundering, and coming from the direction that you came from, you see a group of 5 riders. They are wearing leather armor. They've got thick scarves, and they've got hats. It looks like they're loading crossbows as they go thundering past. Roll me a perception check.
Oh no. They're with Margaret, aren't they?
Not a circus. Not monkeys.
Are you fucking kidding me?
13.
Perception?
13?
8.
15.
13 for me, 17 for Saul.
I rolled a 2.
You're rolling great tonight.
14? All right, everyone that got a 15 or higher, you notice that despite being covered up, these bandits look like orcs. You don't notice it
Yeah,
because
but
you're not
they're
one of
probably
them.
gonna say something.
And they are going full tilt past you guys and up the road.
Do you say something before they
Is
pass?
Margaret an orc?
Well, as
No.
soon as I
Margaret's
notice, I'd be
human.
like, why are there orcs hightailing it towards Graves Keep?
If I have time, like, if she says that and I hear these are orcs, I'm going to step in front of them. I know they're very...
At this point, they're past you.
Fuck. Talk faster next time.
Because you would have noticed it basically as they got up next to you and went past.
I hop on my horse and I haul ass after them.
I turn to Rogar when he does that. What are you doing? Are you going?
Okay, so
I
you
mean,
got on your horse. They've got
Stop! Come
they've
back.
they've got some distance on you because they were going full tilts, and it took you a minute to kind of process. Like, and she was saying, "Why are there orcs?" As they were already past.
Cheetah form.
I was just
Did
saying,
you
no,
say
what is,
anything
I'm missing something.
No, I just look
what's
at you when.
going on?
Well, I look as he goes riding off. I look to you.
I would have said something like those bastards or something like as a to
I
make
get
it
on
sound
my
like,
horse
oh,
and
I
I go
don't like
after
these guys.
All right, Rogar goes. I go.
Okay, so you all take off after these guys on the horse.
They said, they said the guard
Wiping it off on your tabard.
trouble with orcs.
Oh.
And he was wondering if you knew the orcs. and
Gotcha.
what happened,
I
but-
forgot that little part that the
Yeah.
card said that because I was in there.
Oh,
Can I transform into something?
sure.
We were on a horse too. I mean, we can always go by horse.
Can I get there
We always
faster?
tether her horse to one of somebody else's.
Look up.
So low.
There you go.
Well, you sure?
Yeah, but
you can still ride the horse.
Like direwolf, maybe.
I don't think.
Maybe I'm drunk.
You don't think so?
How many
You
feet
feel drunk.
behind?
Hold on. Let me see. Okay, so a riding horse has a speed of 60 feet,
It's like so hot.
and their horses are basically they're dashing, so they're moving 120 feet around.
So
Like, why is my face so red? I didn't have that
80
much fear.
Yeah, as a giant eagle, you could probably catch up to them over time. You'd be gaining on them slightly each round, but at this point, they're probably 240. Well, no, they're probably about 360 feet ahead of you.
gotcha.
if you wanted to do that.
Can I bless my horse to make it go a little bit faster?
I don't know. Do you have a feature that you can
Well, I have
let a
the
creature go
spell
faster?
Bless, and it basically just
Does it increase movement speed?
No.
it just makes
Then
you
no.
better at doing stuff in general.
Gives you 1d4.
Yeah, for checks.
Yeah, no.
And it's con.
I will say that if you guys do sustained dashing with your horses, you're going to have to make animal handling checks to keep them dashing.
Are the
Yeah,
orcs
so do
also
they.
making sustained animal handling checks?
They are with advantage because they,
Train the horses.
Yeah.
Fucking blah, 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 blah. Okay, cool. All right,
Okay.
fine.
I could turn into
You
a
guys
zombie.
watch as demonic wings
it's not a
sprout
beast.
out of Airdress's
Can I-
back, and he takes off.
you can only
in
turn into
flight
it if it
behind.
says beast.
Oh.
Can
That
I
says
see
undead,
them?
So like that's a beast.
Oh.
Well, can I see them?
Yeah, they're about 360 feet ahead of you, but yeah.
What?
They travel 120 feet per round. And it took you guys time to get on your horses
What? Why would we be off our horses?
because you were having lunch on the side of the
They're
road.
around a football field behind us. It's not too far.
Yeah. I just thought you said 240 before, and I was very confused.
I was figuring out how far they had gotten by the time you all got onto your horses and were taking off
I
after.
thought something happened
Shit.
that pushed us back. That's fine. 360.
Can I do something when they're within 90 feet of us?
What are you doing?
Cast Hex on one of them?
Retroactively? Yeah, you saw Jin Cat getting on his horse to take off after him. I'd say, well, roll me a dexterity check.
You know what?
Just to see if you're fast enough.
You know what? I wouldn't have because I didn't do it until I wasn't interested in like deciding what we were going to do until he. So never mind. I didn't do it.
Okay.
I'll yell at them in Orcish. Face me, you cowardly fools!
They don't respond.
Sure they do.
Would
They
I-
turn around. And they go down.
Would I have heard him try to yell
Your
something?
robot works.
Yeah.
Alright. I cast Thaumaturgy on him because he's within 30 feet of me
Okay.
to project his voice.
They heard
Can you
him.
cast thaumaturgy on somebody else?
Within 30 feet. I can...
Hold on. How far
I-
away from?
They are 360 feet ahead of you guys, but you are
Yeah.
going after them.
Yeah.
So you're going to, assuming that you keep dashing and you're able to make your animal handling checks, you guys will stay about 360 feet behind them.
Do that.
Oh.
If you turn into a giant eagle, you can gain on them by 20 feet per round, but it's going to take a while for you
Because
to
you
catch
can
up to
amplify
them.
your own
voice,
voice.
yeah.
So.
Okay.
So, the next round,
I'm ready.
I would have cast Thaumaturgy then on myself and, like, yelled at the top of my lungs, like, ambush, ambush, orcs riding up.
Yeah.
Okay.
Attack, motherfuckers!
Okay.
I'm not very charismatic, so ambush, ambush, orcs are riding up.
Yeah.
With a
Okay.
big motherfucker.
How long does it take for us to get within range of them? Or are they just getting ahead of us every round?
Well, after this first round, everyone who's on a horse, roll me an animal handling check.
I rolled out 4 of them in a row. They're not great.
Do you think it's worth it to transform?
That's your call.
If you do, grab one of us.
Well, someone's gonna
Probably one
do
share,
something
yeah.
with our horse. I figured I'd have to stick behind our horse. Unless they're gonna take our horse.
Or should I just go on horse with you guys?
They're getting away!
Oh, you're already gone.
He's gone.
And Rogar and I are next.
Yeah, but I'm not close enough to them. I'm pissed about it.
I'll just go on horse.
Okay.
So, are you at the range or am I at the range?
Huh?
Which one of us is holding the reins?
Oh.
I'm guessing you are.
I probably am.
Alright, so mine doesn't mean squat.
Unless
Okay.
you got a better one.
Unless you're doing it at the end.
No. Pick one of you, and that's the one that's in control of the horse, unless you switch.
I'd say you're probably at the reins.
13.
You're taller.
13? Okay.
I only got a 12.
I'm like,
16 on the first one.
Okay.
That's the best
Jinkat?
I'm gonna do.
8.
Wait, what do you mean on the first one? Did you roll with advantage?
No, I assume we're gonna be making more as we go.
19.
I rolled a 4.
All right, so Johanna and Jinkat, your horses start to kind of lag behind a little bit. You're about 20 feet behind the rest of the party. But the rest of you are keeping pace.
So I can. I guess I can only see the small beasts.
Are we rolling again?
Yeah, they all made their saves, so they're keeping up their pace.
Can you let me know when the third round is started?
Okay, this is the second round.
Oh, wait, keep going.
I have some feat that allows me to talk to animals, right?
Small beasts.
So I can't.
It's a
like,
racial thing.
I can't like egg it on.
No, it's like you can
I mean, you can.
you can chitter with squirrels and small cats and
Squirrels
things like
of the
that.
horse.
Are you in charge of a squirrel that...
Wait. Wait, is this...
What?
Betrayal!
Animal handling check for second round.
22.
You're fine.
Yes, but-
I healed you.
I'm sorry, I
Conspiracy goes all the way to the top. It was a
rounds
guilty conscience
Because-
that healed me.
like the first...
Every 6 seconds.
No, I
I
understand
saved
that.
my nickel.
But like,
You gonna say
I
that
wanted to
me?
use Thaumaturgy once on him. I wanted to use it again on me. And now I want to cast guidance on my horse. But I don't know if
That way.
this is the second round of animal handling checks. or
This is
since seeing
this
them, is the
second
third.
round is you doing thaumaturgy on yourself.
Okay. 6.
Okay, so 22, 6.
Yeah, mama.
11.
11.
12.
Hey.
Okay.
That's better.
I got
Look
11.
at it.
It's made a number.
You and you. What was yours again?
6.
6, and yours was
11.
okay. So Johanna and Zalissa, you managed to keep your horses going.
Yeah. Here we go.
The rest of you fall back by 20 feet.
So now we're all in attack again. But we're all 20 feet behind from where we were
Yeah.
before.
Except for...
I mean, you're traveling. The ones that have fallen back by 20 feet, you traveled 100 feet. It's just the other horses traveled their full 120.
Gotcha.
And from a mechanical's perspective, the DC's increasing each round because it's harder to keep them going the longer they've been exerting themselves. So, just FYI.
I got 7-11, so just assume the next 2 rounds.
Okay, so the next 2 rounds you're gonna fall back by 20 feet each.
Yep. So long as it's
Third round, what would guidance do?
It gives a willing creature access to add a d4 to an ability.
You'd probably use it on yourself for an animal handling check, but flavor-wise, we can say that you're empowering your horse.
Okay.
22.
Okay,
11.
you fall back by 20 feet.
Cool.
You're keeping up.
I know.
These wouldn't count as a saving throw, would they?
No,
Did I fall behind the first one, though?
11.
I don't think so.
11.
11. You fall behind by another 20 feet.
10, I fall behind.
Yep. All right, and let's do the fourth one.
Come on, listen.
25.
Yeah.
Well, she's a druid. Of course her animal handling's going to be high. Just don't know what she do.
You fall behind.
She's talking in the horse to the horse.
You fall behind.
10, I fall
I
behind.
feel like
fall behind,
I'm
you fall
so
behind.
spurred on by how fast we're going that I'm just
Yeah,
like, I'm like still holding on to you.
Zalissa and
I'm,
One
like,
Shoe are
standing
pulling
up
way
behind you.
ahead.
I'm holding on to one shoe, and
I'm like standing
I will
behind
say-
you.
I will say, over this time, a couple of them have fallen behind their compatriots by about 20 feet, and the next round, their compatriots allowed them to catch up.
So about how far back are we from them?
At this point, well, you were keeping pace, so you're about 340 feet behind. Everyone else is staggered behind that.
So we're not in the
I will
Not
say,
Eldritch Blast.
I will say that the cart that had passed before is visible up ahead, and they are closing in on it.
How long does sound maturity last? Can you shout again?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a cantrip. You can cast as many times
It
as
looks like they heard you, and they have stopped the cart and are getting into defensive positions.
Oh shit!
Thank you.
So,
Good job, bro.
next round.
well. Good job, Rogar.
Do we see this, and do we see that they're in defensive mode?
Yeah, you can see
Yeah,
that
fast
they
mode,
are
fast
like
mode.
shouting and like a couple of them are like taking up like getting behind like the wheel and readying crossbows, and a couple of them are poking out heads from behind the cart, and they've got a sword ready. The soldiers are getting ready to defend their
And
location.
the orcs,
Maybe we should back off.
the orcs are going into them still.
The orcs are barreling towards them.
Okay.
I yell at them again. Turn around, you sons of bitches.
Okay, in
In
Orcish.
Orcish, yeah.
Okay. Okay, so
I'm just
animal
continuously
handling.
yelling at them,
I'm sorry. Oh, one more.
challenging
Yeah,
them.
next round.
Ooh,
Is this
and-
fifth round or sixth round? Or
19.
fourth or
Looks
fifth
like
round?
You don't fall behind by 20 feet this time. You do.
21.
You don't fall behind any.
3.
You do.
Is this fourth or fifth round?
This is the 5th round.
7.
You fall behind. Okay, so there's about. I'm going to say there's 2 more rounds before the orcs get up to where the cart is. So, give me 2 checks for the next 2 rounds, and then I will start figuring out how this resolves
I failed
once
both.
they get up to the cart.
cart.
Okay?
8 and 2.
For my turn, I pity Pierce Hoffman.
Oh, yeah, you're good.
I'm good. Sorry.
Bless you.
23 of them.
Bless y'all.
Bless you. Bless you.
Thank you, girl.
14 for the second.
I wish
Okay.
I known I would have brought all my orcs. Oh no, failure. Horrible.
I fail
failure.
both, but I'm yelling scathing remarks at them.
Yeah.
Okay.
I got a 7 and a 1
So-
on the dice.
I got a 3.
Over the next 2 rounds, they catch up to where the cart is, and you see crossbow bolts fly at the orcs from the cart. And
Duck and weave, horsey, duck and weave.
How do we know that these orcs are bad? Maybe they're.
They're orcs.
Maybe the guards are bad.
Like, are orcs bad? Like,
Yes.
do I know?
Yeah.
Especially those with scarves over their mouth.
generally,
Classic
orcs tend to be antagonistic.
Also, the guy.
Generally, orcs tend to be antagonistic.
The guy did say,
I'm
"Yeah,
so
there's been
sorry.
orcs around here
I'm so
lately.
sorry,
We're on
everyone.
guard for them."
There's been attacks by orcs recently. So basically,
we should
it's
hear them out though.
you 2 are going to take 3 rounds to catch up to the cart.
To the cart.
The 2 of you, because you made so many of your checks. The 3 of you will make it in 4 rounds, and Verdros, you'll make it in 5.
Wait, if I only fell back 20 feet, doesn't that each time? Doesn't that just mean I fell back about 100 feet? So I only need 1 extra round to catch up. If the
How many
horse
times
is
did you
moving-
fail?
5.
5.
Yeah, 5. 5 out of 6.
That's 100 feet.
Or I'm sorry, 6 out of 7. That's 120 feet behind, which is
Which is an extra. Okay, yeah. I had counted an extra time.
Yeah.
Okay. So, yeah, the rest of you will take 4 rounds
And
to
guess
catch
what
up.
Eldritch Blast's range is? 120 feet.
Okay, so this first round,
why I
a couple
asked
of
for it.
crossbow bolts get flung at the orcs, but miss. Ooh.
All of the soldiers died.
They're all dead.
The orcs fire their crossbow bolts, but they are not aiming at the soldiers. They are aiming at someone inside the cart.
Margaret.
What?
Everyone hates Margaret.
2 of the 3
That
bolts
bitch.
seem to hit whatever target. You can't make out who it is. And you hear a male voice scream out in pain. He does not seem dead. Next round, go ahead and make me a check.
I'm sorry, make a what?
A check, an animal handling.
11.
Okay.
Am I?
Actually, I would say at this point, it's just at this round you get closer, and in 2 more rounds you guys can act, and in 3 more rounds the rest of you can act. Except you'd be able to act because of the range of Eldritch Blast.
Hell
Okay, so this round passes. Another round of crossbow bolts from the soldiers.
I'm pulling out my crossbow if that's the
Just call me the Eldritch Rider.
One of the orcs takes a bolt in the shoulder and you make me a perception check. I would say the 2 of you two can as well because you're farther ahead.
Perception?
Yes.
16.
16?
That would be a 17.
A 17?
An 11?
Where it hits him seems like it would be closer to a vital organ, but the way he reacts is like he got hit farther out.
Or, I'm sorry, an orc got hit with this.
Yes.
Okay.
Wait, an orc in
there.
One of
the one in the cage, or one of the orcs gets hit?
One of the orcs gets hit, and he takes it like it just hit his shoulder and kind of knocked him back, but where it hit him looks like it would be more like here.
Do you want to bring a bigger bowl? Or
when we get in that 120
kind of in this little corner down there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Guiding bolt.
Has 120. Okay. So.
Do you need help?
Another round passes. Or, no, that was the soldiers. So then the orcs let loose another volley. Woo! And one of them was a crit. All three of the bolts seem to find their target.
Oh no!
And you hear this scream get cut short into a gurgling.
Oh, no.
Is he dead, Dan?
The round passes. You guys are getting closer. One more round and then you can act.
Saul's been flying with us.
Yeah.
I'm going to send Saul to fly towards the cage as fast as possible. Ah, fuck. They'll probably try and kill Saul. They won't understand what's going on. Damn. Okay. Never mind.
At this point, the soldiers shoot more bolts. The orc that was struck before gets hit again in the leg, and he's not looking great. A different orc also gets struck in the arm. The band of orcs at this point veer off and start riding off into the nearby woods. So, one more round goes by. As soon as this next round comes up, you are in range to do your long range things.
But, so the orcs are within range of the cart?
They were pretty much up to the cart. Or close to it. They got up and they just kind of were riding in a circle around it. And you guys were making up the distance during these rounds. But at this point, the orcs are all riding off into the woods. Mm-hmm. And you all have come up to the point that starting next round, you will be within range of both the orcs and the cart to do anything that's long range, like 120 feet.
My question was just, are we in range of the cart or the orcs? That was all.
Both right now. So, next round comes around. The soldiers... Soldiers fire crossbow bolts. One of them hits the second orc that was struck, and he's not looking too good either now. And the other crits on a third orc.
Thank you.
And he is barely hanging on. The orcs are going to... they're going to continue dashing and bolting off into the woods.
I'm
But I'm going to say that you all can get one action at long range before they disappear into the woods.
What range?
You know what
Because I don't have a 120 feet thing. So.
Then you don't have anything to do right now.
They're 120 feet away?
Yeah, I don't think
They're about 110 to 120.
I'm still galloping towards the cart.
I'm
Okay.
adjusting course to charge towards the orcs.
Okay.
But I am going to fire.
What?
Okay. Do it.
I'd be so disappointed if I didn't get to do it in this
Are you
section.
sure they're not 90 feet away?
Yeah, that's going to be a
Are you
19
sure
to
they're not
hit
30 feet away.
Yeah, that hits.
and a.
You suck.
Sorry, I messed up something on my thing.
What's up?
We're gonna go ahead and say that was what's my 10 force damage.
Okay. Yeah, you hit. You hit the nearest rider, who has not been hit so far, and he kind of takes the hit in the shoulder and just continues pressing on.
In case he makes me do 3.
Anyone else? Firebolt.
Firebolt 22 to hit
Yeah, that hits.
and 6 fire damage.
Okay, you hit the same guy that he did. So he's got some scorch marks across his other shoulder. But he's still going.
Is that the only guy in range?
He's the closest guy, but you could hit pretty much any of them.
Okay. I don't know. I would want to go for someone else. Or never mind. Fuck it. So I don't want to hit them, but I want my bolt to hit in front of one of their horses.
Like a warning shot?
Yeah, essentially, I want
Okay.
the bolt
I'll
to hit
I'll
at
say
the front of the horse, so the horse like
Bucks
rears
them off.
up and bucks them off.
okay. Roll me the attack.
I haven't done a ranged attack, a ranged spell attack, so
Add your spellcasting ability modifier,
that's
or spellcasting modifier rather.
yes, that's 15.
Hey, babe.
A
Yeah.
15.
We probably got
Yeah,
like an hour
is
before
there
we have
anything
to let Laura
else?
out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Not a proficiency or dex or anything.
Well, it's your spellcasting ability plus proficiency is
Okay.
your spellcasting modifier.
So 17.
Okay. Yeah, you managed to hit the dirt right in front of the horse, and he has to make an animal handling check to keep the horse under control, which he makes. With a natural 18.
Okay. Now, I made a pretty big divot.
He's fixing a divot.
So at this
But I
point,
don't think
does
that-
anyone else have any ranged things?
only 90 feet.
I got one.
Okay,
It's a 24 to hit.
that hits.
That's 5 damage.
Okay, the guy that you both hit, you also hit him. He's not looking great, but he is holding on.
And then I have my quick shot.
Okay.
Do I have to roll an attack again?
Yes,
Or
it's
is that
a
okay?
it's a separate attack.
That's a 14.
14 does not hit.
Damn.
I'm not within 90 feet though, right? You said 120. Okay.
100 to 120. Okay. So at this point, they get into the tree line and they are running through the trees. They're not slowing down. They seem very familiar with the terrain here. And they are not slowing down, but they are able to weave between the trees.
Am I still keeping pace at all?
Animal handling check.
12.
No, your horse is breathing heavy. You can get up to the tree line, I'd say. But at this point, you're only catching little tiny glimpses as they dart in between trees.
Are he and I at the same distance?
Roughly. If you all are going after the orcs, you all get to the tree line. If you're going to the cart, you're catching up to the cart now.
I am going with. I am following him.
Why?
Okay, so the two of you get up to the tree line. You get to the cart.
I get to the cart.
Which way are you guys going?
I am.
I thought you were asking
we're
for a
going to
chair,
the
and I was
cart.
like, sure. I don't know why. I
Okay.
said, sure.
No, it doesn't feel
My hand is wreathed in that dark energy as I reach to the whoever looks like they're dead or dying, and I try to spare the dying on them in the cart.
Okay. No effect.
What did you say?
No effect. He's
Oh.
dead.
He burst through.
He told me to go fuck myself.
He's already dead.
Yes. And it's not Margaret. It is a man. A human man. He is wearing just simple clothes and is bound. You don't see any other distinguishing marks on this man.
Stay with
No.
Stay with
So, so the two of you get to the tree line. What are you doing? Jinkat, Rogar, what are you doing? You're at the tree line.
I'm still, just one more round of trying to chase the orcs.
All right.
I'm screaming at them to come back and
All right.
call them
Looking for
bitches
tickets.
and anything.
Roll
I
me
can
an animal
think of.
handling check.
Paper towel?
6, I
Back
fail.
behind. Yep.
Yeah, your horse
To the right.
does not dash at all. It goes not even 60 feet. This is rough terrain. It goes like, I'll say he gets 40 feet. And he just kind of stops and starts pawing at the ground like exhausted. Its sides are heaving.
I hop off and I run on feet for like 10 or 15 feet, and then I just kind of slump down on my knees and let out an orcish just scream.
Okay. Okay.
All the guards shoot at the noise.
Can we hear this scream from where we are back to the car?
Oh yeah.
I
Can
should
we-
hope so.
Can we tell?
It sounds like Jinkat's scream.
Does it sound?
He sounds frustrated and angry.
Sounds frustrated or angry?
Both, but not like he was before.
Sounds real
He
clever.
doesn't sound like he's berserking.
No, he's
What's that?
no. When he was berserking, like it was on a
That thing you did
whole
made us
other
all wanna kill
level
you.
of anger. This is his usual like battle anger and frustration.
Okay, I'm gonna take my bow and arrow and go in their general direction and try to take cover behind a tree and like
Just keep an eye out.
keep an eye
You got
out for
it.
him specifically.
Okay.
Like it.
You're going towards the tree line?
Yeah, I really want to see
Okay.
if they're gonna come, and if they're not back soon, I'm gonna go after them.
The orcs. Oh, them.
Them.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So we're out of initiative. Well, we didn't even really do initiative, but we're at this point. You're not going to catch up to these orcs.
I'll stand up and walk back to
I use
the
dimension door.
the thing.
I got 23 on my animal handling check. Is it chasing after him?
Yeah. So you kept up with him, and you saw
Essentially, I
him.
was like, come on. So I.
So you help him up to his feet. You help him get his horse and bring it back. You see the two of them coming back. I don't know if Jinkat got back on his horse or if he's just leading
I'm
it.
just walking with it.
And
Okay.
I'm looking at Rogar and I say, "Is everything okay?"
Well, on our walk back, I would have asked. So why were you so gun ho about chasing after them?
Orcs and I orcs took something from me. I don't like orcs anymore.
His virginity.
Let's just say I'm not proud of that part of my life.
Okay. So I'm when I get back
was
to
I
you,
right?
I'm like, yes, everything is okay. We just lost track of them.
I'm starting to think this traveler might have a troubled past. It's so rare.
So the guy that the orcs shot at is dead now. Dead, right?
Yes,
He's
he is
gone.
dead.
Right. So one more, and then
What you looking for?
take it all.
Are you hungry?
All the chips, all the cake.
Here, we can put him over
I
here.
asked.
Yeah,
So
take
it was a prisoner.
Yes, they were shooting at one of the prisoners.
Yeah.
I asked the
Sure.
guards who this
I got room.
Well, I'm gonna eat some too.
I asked the guards who this prisoner was
It's
and what
not
are the
totally
crimes held against
altruistic.
him.
They're kind of taking stock of what all happened, and so they look over their manifests and everything, and they're like, we never did get his name, but he was with some kind of bandit outfit. Yeah, I don't know why he'd be important to a bunch of orcs.
I don't know, but I ask if
Roll me a history check with advantage.
And he doesn't have any distinguishing marks on him or anything. Tattoos, scars, missing fingers.
18.
Do you give him a once over? Okay. First things first.
18.
You 18? Yeah.
Oh, you're saving them?
Yeah.
Okay.
I have expected it to be like toilet paper.
You
rolls.
creep, where'd you find those?
What?
Trash can
Not in the trash can.
Not in the trash can.
under the sink. No.
Put that thing back
We
there.
just have lots of
You-
toilet paper.
You, Jincat, you would know, like, this is not standard orc behavior. Like,
Of the orcs that are.
orcs are pretty primal. If they're going after something, it's to kill it. And if they're going after to kill it, they're going to kill the other things with it. And they're going to loot.
So why would it be
And
targeted?
they're going to eat. Yeah.
So I basically say this, I'm like,
What'd you do?
this
I
is
didn't do
not
anything.
normal. You don't normally get away from an orc attack with only one casualty before they flee like the cowards that they are. There was something.
Yeah, they
going on
normally
here.
attack at least 3 or 4 of you.
I would ask
I give you the side
commander. I'd ask the commander of the guard. Essentially, is this the typical pattern that you have gotten reports of?
I did not successfully. Get
Not really. I mean,
I
they'll
do not successfully.
usually the
get
orcs
it.
will-
Just side eyes.
come in and they'll attack like a village or something, and most of the time they'll just
Maybe they'll burn down.
They'll just try and-
something.
take whatever supplies, gold they can get their hands on, and then they'll leave. If anyone fights back, they'll kill them.
What?
But for the most part, folks just kind of let them take what they want and leave, which for orcs sounds pretty civil to me anyway. But this is totally not what I'd expect from orcs. You, looking over the body of the dead man, he does have a tattoo, and it's a very familiar tattoo.
Oh, yeah.
This is a tattoo that many of the soldiers of Haldrum would get.
There's no regrets.
And it's essentially
Rat.
it's kind of a riff on the crest of Haldrum, but it's a style that's very familiar to you.
Familiar, like I would have known where he would have gone to get it, or like that
you have
he
one
would have
too.
been a Haldrum soldier, or maybe I've got one too.
You may have one, I don't know, but a lot of Haldrum soldiers would get this tattoo in various qualities because it's not a particular artist that they all go to. It's
Gotcha. And it was Haldrum's crest,
yes,
like a parody, a stylized.
it's a
version
stylized
of it.
version of it with in Haldrum's crest there is a sword and some arrows, and those details are more stylized. Now I have to make Haldrum's crest.
And then and then I'll have to decide if Johanna has a tattoo or not.
Hey, Lucy Butt,
Other than her tramp
or
stamp,
whatever
right?
cat you are. Hi.
Where do you think this tattoo is on this guy?
Huh.
Oh, she'll lay on him. Come up.
I ask.
And for the record, the tattoo's right here, so that it could be hidden.
I ask what the plans are with the corpse. Do you tend to drag it with you or leave it behind?
I mean, the
Oh,
cor-
before you ask that real quick, Johanna would tell you this is
The gray one.
a crest that a lot of Haldrum soldiers have, but I don't know who this person is. And then
On with the corpse talk.
the captain basically tells you, we don't have much need for dead bodies. We'll probably just when we stop for camp, we'll set them up on the fire, burn the remains.
Would you allow for me to do a funeral rite prayer to ceremoniously pass his body along to Bahamut so that he might find justice in the next life?
By all means.
And so, technically speaking, that's supposed to take an
The
hour.
last one, they're so good. Also, the meatballs are
Are you actually doing that ritual, or are you just saying a quick prayer?
I'll do a bastardized version of it.
Okay, we'll say that it only takes you about 10 minutes.
Okay. So if I'd done the full thing, it would make it immune to the corpse can't become undead for a week. So now it
You
can't.
shared this information with us.
It's a
Okay, not everyone is going to announce everything they know and do.
Hello, my name is Jim Cat. Would you like to see my spell list?
I'm asking. Like, is that something you would have shared with us?
Is that something that... I'm going to say that you complete this. It's
Yeah.
just, it only takes you 10 minutes for whatever reason.
Yeah. I'll announce. I've passed Bahamut, and this should also protect. Yeah, I'll say some fanciful version announcing like this should protect him from being turned undead or by any other nefarious means.
Cool.
It's just it's a ceremonious rite to basically I have the spell ceremony. I can perform weddings and funerals.
It's just a funeral, right?
Yeah,
It's common.
it's not anything fancy.
Yeah.
It's very fancy. You
I
can
can-
stop them from becoming undead.
Yeah,
For a week.
For
a week.
So if a necromancer came by in the next week, he couldn't raise him.
yeah. Oh wow.
Never mind, I'm no longer excited.
I was gonna say, don't you have a history with a necromancer or a connection? Yeah.
I can also perform weddings. Do you fancy anyone here?
Yeah, you.
You get a
No.
you get a +2 to your AC
Just
whenever
as
you're within
calves.
30 feet of them.
That is belt.
Vegas, baby.
Anybody want to get married?
Hey.
It's just symbolic, Melissa. Come on.
Hey,
Do it.
I take marriage very seriously.
It's not symbolic, Melissa.
Okay, so
Dang.
is there anything else that you want to do or ask or examine or, I don't know, invent?
I would once again ask the captain if they would like any company while I continue on the travels.
I'll kind of look around. I'll take stock and say, none of my boys took any hits there. It's just they were just after this guy.
Did any of the other prisoners take hits?
No.
Wow, they're good shots.
Cool.
One crossbow bolt is embedded into the wood right next to Margaret's face, but she did not take any damage.
Don't you laugh at this.
Johanna would ask the commanding officer if other bandit raids that they'd heard reports of, if they had similar instances of them just going after one particular person, or if that's information that they know or not.
It doesn't seem like it. Like I said, normally they're just
Just
they
coming
show
to
up and
everybody.
try. Well, no, that's the thing is, you'd expect an orc attack to leave few, if any, survivors, but most of the time they're just showing up and thieving. You know, they're muggers more than anything else.
Yeah.
It's what makes it so confusing, and probably why they haven't put more of an effort into eradicating them, since they're not leaving a lot of. The only bodies they're leaving are when people resist them.
That is strange.
Canadian prison.
It's very strange for orcs,
Are amazing.
but it does seem like there's been a lot of these incursions with orcs happening. So, like, people are frustrated, and you would get the sense from the way he's talking about it that, you know, it's very frustrating. A lot of people are really angry about it, but there's not a lot to be done, short of getting a contingent to march through the woods to route out their hideout.
The whole crime.
All right. Anything else?
Secret ingredient. is
Okay.
crime.
So, you all continue on. You make camp for the night.
Long rest.
Is there anything you would like to do during your rest?
I'd like to get to Grace
Can you
Camp.
go to the bathroom first?
No. Why do you guys let him have these breaks?
That
At
is-
home.
Yeah.
She wouldn't spoil him like this.
I
Is
wanna
it
leave
just a
chores
girls'
for our
room
friends.
at home?
Our bathrooms have no sex. It's Michelle's.
You don't have
bathroom.
sex in your bathroom?
And no one's bathroom.
That's weird.
You act like no kidding.
No, I'm saying that's weird that they don't.
No
That's the
kidding,
only
it's
place we do it.
Well, it's our preferred place anyway.
Easy cleanup.
Exactly.
Just do it in the
I'm
shower.
doing something
We
wrong, aren't I?
have really tiny.
Oh,
showers,
honey.
you guys.
Just saying, it's way easier to clean up the whipped cream and the chocolate sauce that way.
Who are you messing around with?
Mucho.
He's down here.
Why
Just
are you
like,
giving me chocolate? It's backwards
But
heart.
the chocolate's for me.
oh my god, we had to call Taylor. What was that like? Whose birthday was that?
I
Taylor.
don't remember.
Gray flowers.
Wasn't great flowers.
We had
called
some
her a
chocolate
few months
cake.
ago, and there was chocolate cake, and my sister.
I think she gave him part of it, or
No.
No, she set it down on the coffee table,
And it's
not
like-
thinking about it. And
He
then
came
Mucho
over
came
and
over
ate
and
the
just
whole thing in
ate
one
the whole
bowl.
thing in like 2
Yeah, he
bites.
did. I know, so we called Taylor, and I'm like trying to make him throw up. Adam's getting the hydrogen peroxide. Chrissy was just like, and I'm like, okay. We were
But
doing
then
everything, he wasn't throwing up.
But then Taylor basically told us, "Calm the fuck down."
I was like, it's one piece of chocolate cake.
And he's a really
gonna
big-
have diarrhea. He's a big dog.
Oh,
If
Yeah.
only he'd eaten the whole chocolate cake, I'd have been a little bit more.
oh my god.
My old buddy had this one dog that he would eat anything. And when I say anything, I mean, we thought it was bad when he pounded a bag of peanut M&Ms, but we really got concerned when he ate the box of bullets.
Oh my god. He's
Are
like,
you
he didn't
serious?
Get, like lead poisoning. Do they still make bullets out of lead? Is that what?
Yeah, they're made of lead with a copper
Oh,
coating. Tyler, his old dog buddy.
Oh, I thought for a second you were saying
God.
Tyler ate the bullets. I'm
No,
like,
no.
I knew he was kind of crazy, but
Wow.
Anybody got any more dishes while I'm over here?
Oh, don't do the dishes. Just set them in there.
Girl, I got you.
Girl.
No,
They're
just-
going in the dishwasher.
They're not being
anyway.
nice. They
Well,
just don't
I
think
already
you do
washed
them
them
right.
with soap, so not these ones.
Now we have to decide if we trust Taylor's washing skills.
Man,
I mean,
I got the best cleaning skills.
They're the best skills.
nobody has better cleaning skills than me.
Skills than me.
Believe
these are
me,
just for
okay.
Alright,
She
I
goes,
won't
go
wash
sit back
those.
down.
I mean, but I
If you
do
can trust
so.
anyone's cleaning skills, it's a doctor.
Okay.
The only person's cleaning skills you can
I have the best
doctor.
disinfecting skills of anyone. My skills for disinfecting are the best. Disinfection skills.
Okay, so as you all get ready for your rest, anything that you would like to do, talk about, whatever.
I go aside and do my usual praying for a while.
You do my usual jerking off motion whenever he does that. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
This little pumpkin is so cute.
Yeah.
I just want to point out how adorable this pumpkin is.
It is.
I
really
wanted to
cute.
eat one all day, but
No, don't even drink it.
I
Just
didn't.
Look at how cute.
I was.
it is.
I'm probably gonna have drink some of one shoe's wine.
Alright.
My
It's been a long.
wine?
Yeah, it's been a long day. You'll share with me. We'll get more.
I like how that's not a question.
You will share.
Also,
You'll
we probably
share.
You
got
will share with me.
12 minutes before somebody
Okay,
needs
honey.
to go let bug out.
Adam knows that.
Yeah. Okay. I just reminded you. Don't.
Okay, is anyone doing anything on this long rest, or should we fast forward to the morning?
Morning.
Morning.
Good morning.
I was going to ask Jinkat a little bit more about why the...
Okay,
Evening.
let's do it.
Do it.
We'll say that the two of you take watch together.
Okay.
And I'm up to. I'm not trusting them yet.
Okay.
But we're speaking in Draconic.
Neither of them, huh?
I don't know.
Oh!
You have no reason not to trust Rokar.
No, I don't. It's not that I don't trust you, but I feel like
You don't trust Jin Cat.
It's really I don't trust Jin Cat.
Okay.
Dun dun dun. Also,
Well-
according to Harry Potter, we're in the middle of a river.
Because I didn't get the memo that we were supposed to do it in Draconic.
Okay. Yeah, in common. It's
in
fine.
common,
Yeah.
I would say,
Take it.
in common, I would say. So,
Just rewatch
Video
the
why
stream.
do you
Just rewatch the
hate?
stream.
No, I meant my character is.
Why do you hate your orcs so much?
I just respond. Have you ever known a half-orc to come from a happy relationship?
Aww,
The answer
Have I
would be
ever known a half orc?
that's sad.
probably not. And half orcs are rare.
Right.
They are very rarely. They rarely come from a consensual union. We'll say.
Oh.
Talking about.
Are we in Draconic now?
Yes.
No, as a matter of fact, I haven't. But you seem particularly troubled regarding
Look
your
all
past.
around.
They also burnt down my home.
Well, that would explain it. Yes.
I have a few reasons to mistrust them. I accept I am half-orc. I do not let that define me, though.
So if you shed your orc culture, how did you become who you are? Yeah.
There's that charisma.
Charisma.
Hard work, guys.
He
I was adopted by
tried.
the Church of Bahamut. My father, the man I call my father, was a elven priest in the temple to Bahamut in my hometown, and I was raised there, and I was ready to guard there as a guard to the temple, which is where I got my training in the martial arts and weaponry and defense. And it was only when a band of orcs came through and burnt down not only my hometown, but specifically they burnt down my temple that I was supposed to be guarding, that I found myself to be anywhere but home.
Did you ever find these orcs?
I did not. I focused on getting my father to a safe place. He is I got him to a nearby town, but ever since then, I've been on a journey to find peace with my past, let's say.
Just a point of detail. When you say they burned down the temple's a stone building. They
burned
broke-
down
They
the
like
people
burn stuff
inside.
in the
They
temple.
broke all of the glass, including the expensive stained glass. And they burned all of like the pews and the other things in it. The stone structure still stands, but it is charred. It was charred and smoking and ruined.
They sacked your temple. Huh?
But just point of order.
Jin Cat realizes this. He's like, wait, all I need is a fresh coat of paint. I'm all good, guys. And he goes
Yeah.
back home. Bye!
Bye.
No, like they absolutely destroyed the temple in the sense that they burned everything in it and all that, but the actual physical structure still stands.
Well, there's not much of a town for the temple to...
Yeah, the rest of the town was pretty much wiped out.
That's sad.
Any other
I'm sorry.
questions? How did you come to be here? Does it start with the R word also?
Why didn't you tell us that?
Romance?
No. There's no R word, really.
There's no Raggins?
No.
Aren't you a Raggenborn?
Oh god.
God. No, I was
Yes.
I was studying in a monastery or in a temple, and it was shown to me that I would not find the peace that I needed still there. So I I am on a journey to find them.
I'd like to do an insight check, but I can't.
We're just
I don't need to do an insight check.
He's done.
Stop.
Help. I got the dice. That's what I didn't want to lose. God damn! These are his dice.
Yeah, you're the one that took them.
Damn it,
Whose
woman!
fault is that?
Take that. And
Not
then,
mine.
Now.
Nipple dice.
Good. Hang on.
Okay.
Okay.
Is there anything else that you'd like to discuss?
Is it cold in here, Mike?
Nope,
No,
just
it's
a little
really
turned on.
All right.
No.
So,
No, I mean, I'll cast guidance on myself again.
how does
That's the first
So
one.
does Alyssa do anything after she hears like, "What's your problem with orcs?" and then you just hear Draconic after that?
I was gonna say I probably would have piped up at some point, but I kind of wanted to hear.
Like, hey,
Like,
I'm just touching.
Bullshit.
I'm just touching.
If she did object to talking in Draconic, would you guys switch back to common to include her?
For some people.
Well, we just talked about orc rape, so
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
depends on where we were in the count. Probably
If you
not.
tickle me again, I'm gonna fart, and it's gonna ruin
I
this.
would
I
tell
I didn't push it.
There, I did
I was gonna
it.
say,
I
if
did
it seemed
it.
like to be a real
Enjoy
problem,
what's
I'd
about
do
to
it,
happen.
But I'm
Enjoy
like,
it.
I trust him. She's clearly got a
I
problem.
feel like
here.
I was more or less like listening to like the tone. Like if they were more like, okay, so when they
I
wait,
apologize
we're gonna
to
do
you
this.
and you guys.
Like I feel
what
like that they
Taylor
were having like
deserves.
more of a
No.
heart to heart, and so
Yeah.
I was okay with them having their little heart to heart.
Okay.
cool.
So
It's
I,
like
I switched back to comments. So now that we've plotted Alyssa's murder, oh crap!
Yeah.
Okay.
Not
So-
really the best time to be making.
In the interest of brevity, because I know that you guys got to take care of Bug,
The bug.
the night passes.
The bug,
Nothing really
the
happens. You
bug.
spend another day traveling. And fortunately, like you throughout the day, you start to see more people traveling on the road as you get closer to Gray's Keep. In the evening, early evening, you've got maybe an hour until the sun starts to set. You come upon Gray's Keep. And you make your way to the city. You pass through kind of basically like a shanty town. Like there's some poor people that are setting up, that have their little lean-to shelters and whatnot outside the city walls. You approach. You're able to get through the gate without any issues. What would you guys like to do first in the city?
Temple of
Find a
Bahamut.
bar.
Library.
First, we ought to try finding a spot to have the horses tethered and like all of our stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
Look at this one.
Okay, so
that.
there is an inn.
I was gonna say either an inn or
An
would
out.
I be able to use my history as a Haldren soldier to like hit up the barracks and be like, "Sup, can we leave our horses here for a little
Yes,
while?"
you can absolutely leave your horses at the barracks, and they will take care of it free of charge. They recognize you, especially if you did run into any issues, you could probably pull out
Your ID.
My little sigil.
your
badge.
your insignia that indicates what your station was, and they would happily accommodate. As for inns, once you take care of that,
Leave
are
the
you?
horses at the barracks?
Yeah, you left your horses at the barracks. Are you going to look for an inn first? Are you going to go straight to a temple? Are you going to go? I mean, it's getting dark.
Essentially, I would ask the guard, kind of under the assumption I haven't been here before. I would kind of ask a guard or someone for a lay of the land. Kind of find a inn or tavern that is central to the city, depending on
Okay.
what is available.
Okay, so Gray's Keep. The city's effectively separated into 4 sections. The castle sits on the northern border of the city and is on the highest part. The entire city sits on essentially a raised hill that has a few different levels to it. The highest part is the northernmost, where the castle sits. The upper tier is roughly the northeastern quadrant of the city, and that's directly below where the castle is. There's a middle tier that's kind of the southeastern and south part of the city, and then the rest of the western part of the city is kind of the lower tier slums. There's also a huge shanty town that's built around the outside of the walls. The entire city is enclosed in walls. There are access points to the upper tiers, but other than that, there's steep grades and walls to separate them. Essentially, if the city was under siege, they could fall back tier to tier. As if an enemy were to advance, they could fall back to the next highest tier as a defensive position.
Is it entirely made of the color white?
No.
It's not Ministerial?
No.
Oh.
No, it's not a mountain. It's like each tier is between 30 and 50 feet up from the tier below it. So not hundreds of feet.
Right. Like when you fall off, well,
Is
you
it the
probably
Earth
still hurt
Kingdom
yourself.
from
if you're
Avatar
gonna
with
fall.
King Boomy?
I've never seen it, so maybe.
Avatar?
It's so good.
Rohan.
Different
Like
Avatar.
this
Yo,
town in
Hannah,
the middle of
Where
Dole.
would be a good
that.
place for us to set up
Yes.
our headquarters?
Johanna and also Verdros, because
Yeah.
they've both been here. Johanna would know the city a little bit better. There is an inn called the Hare and Hydra that is right in the middle of the town in the second tier. There's a kind of a common marketplace. There's a common marketplace in the center of the city, right outside of St. Selma's Cathedral, which is a massive temple to Pelor, but specifically dedicated to St. Selma, who was a devotee of Pelor long ago. But it's basically across the square from that cathedral, and it's called the Hare and Hydra. It's a moderately nice inn, and it's right in the middle of the city. You would also know if you wanted a cheaper inn in kind of the slums, but not too far from the center, is the Crowned Cock.
Oh.
I'm sorry.
And if you guys wanted to live it up and go to the upper tier, there is an inn called the Singing Dragon off of the upper tiers marketplace.
Can I find a find a guard?
I've got a god for you.
Yeah. Find a guard and see if there's any temples to Bahamut or Kama or other.
Yeah,
I
there
was told there would be a temple to Bahamut.
there is actually not too far from either the Crown Cock or the Hare and Hydra. There is a temple that is actually. Let me just double check
I was gonna
exactly
say,
where
and
it is.
Johanna would recommend the Hare and Hydra
Yes.
if we wanted to stay there after you find your temple.
Yeah.
When
There.
you want to get rowdy,
There's a temple not
Crown
super
Cock.
far from
let's stay in the Crown Cup.
either of those inns, and it is called the Temple of the Three Dragons, and it is a joint temple to Tamara, Lendis, and Bahamut. So, are you going to go find the inn first, or are you going to go to the temple first?
Temple. I'm going to the temple.
There's no reason why we couldn't split up. Those of us
Well,
that want
how
to
will
go
the
to
people
inn.
going somewhere other than the inn? Are we telling them, hey, we're
This
going
is
to
the
this
inn that we're going to. Yeah.
Cool.
Johanna already
And
said
have
she
you-
wants to stay at Hare and Hydra.
Hare and Hydra. You voted for Crown. Well, did you tell them about the other ones?
I would assume that Johanna would have said these are our 3 price points.
Yeah.
Let's
She
get
said
rowdy.
Hare and Hydra is
Okay.
comfortable and reasonable.
Vote. Who's going for Hare and Hydra? Who's going
I'm
for Crown
sure.
Cock?
Okay, I'm going with her.
No, I'm.
And
I'm
which
going with
which of the inns would you two prefer?
I was gonna try to sleep in the temple.
Oh Jesus Christ!
This particular temple does not have sleeping quarters, so they could not accommodate you.
Hair.
The head paladin's got to sleep somewhere. I'll bunk with him.
That's weird.
Jesus.
No.
Okay, so you voted for the hair, and it sounds like you're not voting.
I'll go with him.
He's gonna try and seduce the head paladin. So
Okay,
I have pretty
so
high charisma.
as you decide
Saucy savage.
on which inn you're going to, and the two of you are getting ready to split off and go to the temple, you notice with your ridiculous passives, there is a woman who is kind of off to the side. There's lots of people in the street, but there's a woman who has been kind of off to the side and has kept like kind of glancing over every now and then, like she recognizes someone. And then she finally she approaches, and you hear off to the side, Johanna? And that's where we're going to call it a night.
Wait, what's she look like? Tell me everything about this woman.
How does Johanna respond? We don't.
We'll find out next time on Dragon Ball Z.
I'm your mother, Verdros.
So what's your
Thanks for a great session today.
Yeah, it's fun.
Glad you guys enjoyed it. I particularly enjoyed the first 2 hours where I didn't have to do
I
shit.
don't know why a lot of people didn't explain every detail of their backstory. What the fuck?
I did. I still don't know yours though.
It's fine.
So yeah, our next session is in 2 weeks.
Yeah. Double check. I believe that's what we decided.
That's when we have a babysitter.
On Saturday the 26th.
Yes.
I can do it. I'm working, but if we did 2 o'clock or 2:30, I think that'd be fine.
I think we have it for 2. If we need to push it back to 2:30, just let us know and we can do that. Or we can just
My bad.
plan on getting here at 2, and then whenever you get here, we'll start.
I know it's Saturday.
I mean, are you really important
That's
for the
the first
beginning of the
Saturday.
session?
We really didn't start today until 2:45 anyway, so.
Oh shit! Sorry, no, my first X meetings start tomorrow, and I forgot all about it.
What? Uh-oh, what time?
7 o'clock.
AM?
No, PM.
Oh, okay. Remember ours was
All right.
Oh,
6 a.m.
yeah.
Yeah, I did not have that.
All right, and on that note, we'll see you next time.